retard, retard, retard.
So, hello everyone. You can see I'm not totally ready for the stream yet. Good God. Where has time gone today? Hey, hello Mark, how you doing? And der Klang, guten Abend. Spectre, hey. Voyager, moin, wie geht's dir? Steppke, hi to. And Toyota, hello. Robbery, Philip, Mike, and Alexander, hello to you all. Welcome to today's stream. And we are on this beauty. And we are currently actually in Shannon. I know. We're supposed to be, hey Yoda, we're supposed to be in London, but slight change of plans. We are going to fly from London Heathrow to Shannon, don't worry. But there's a little topic I want to cover before we start flying, because I've been approached by a couple of people yesterday and today commenting about the latest FENIX update and the way it handles in crosswind conditions. Now, I have not had much time yet to try out different weather situations, different crosswind situations here in the FENIX. So I thought, because these questions will come up during the stream, I'm pretty sure, I want to cover some theory on how Airbus, so the official information, how Airbus thinks the Airbus 320 should be handled.
Welcome aboard the Captain
in
Black Box
crosswind
Duo
conditions.
Channel experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks,
Yeah, Voyager,
and
doing well.
premium
Thanks for
flight
asking.
infotainment will be served.
Yaroslav, hello to
Thank
you as well.
you.
How you doing? Big thank you to, let me see, where's my buttons? There we go, it's working today. So big thank you to Oist coming in with 10 months resub. Oist, thank you so much for your support. And before we go any further, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you wonderful people for watching my streams, for watching the YouTube videos that I make, and especially those that actually like Sawusa and Oist here provide a little bit of financial support for the channel by subscribing or being a member on YouTube. Thank you so much to all of you for that amazing support. I can't stress that enough. That really means a lot to me. It's a big form of appreciation, obviously, for the work that I do outside of my normal work as a real airline pilot. Sawusa, also to you, thank you so much. 41 months, Sawusa. Hope you're doing good. Thank you so much. So big thanks to everyone supporting and hanging out here, spending time with me here on the streams. Thank you so much, everyone. And a big thank you as well to all my moderators who always find some time to, well, actually a lot of time, to come into my streams and make sure that everything's running smoothly. It's in a good spirit, in a good mood. Yeah, so thanks so much for everyone for all that help and support. How's your coming future working? Isn't it? Oh yeah, so Steppke, I need to wait until I get a new plans out for transitions. Now, it is definitely a case at the moment of not having enough instructor pilots. So that's really the backlog, and that's why I'm waiting for my transition. But no, I'm still enjoying flying the A320. So yeah, all good. All right, so let's get into some theory, guys, before we head off. So people were saying they have issues doing crosswind landings, and I've seen references mostly to the FENIX, not so much to the PNVG. Now I'm not sure, a bit confused. Is it also the PNVG model, or is it just the FENIX in particular? Hey Andreas, how are you doing? Oh yeah, Voyager, the pictures I posted. Yeah. So it was crazy. We had about 130 knots headwind going to Dublin, and then we had 130 knots tailwind going back. And what a difference in ground speed that made. Flying back was like, it felt like going supersonic.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box
Hey, Agent B7.
Could new subscribers please
Also,
make your
big
way
thank
to
you
the
to you.
first
And
class
how
cabin,
is everything
where
going, B?
complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight
How much flying have you been able to do?
Thank you.
Big round of applause, first of all. Thank you for the 17 months here at the big chat.
Chatting on position, classy Capo HD.
Yeah, there we go. I love that text to speech. Thank you so much. Yeah, chatting on position, right? So yeah, Agent or B, let me know how you're doing. So Mark says there's a change I've noticed between initial FENIX release and the current. Okay, so let me allow me to do the following. Let me go through some theory how things should be, and then we can do one or two patterns and see how this aircraft actually behaves now. All right. So Andreas says he's got some problems with rudder pedals since the last updates of the FENIX. Okay, let me go and show you guys what I have currently set as sensitivity. And there's something I'm going to do though. So on the Crosswind rudder pedals, I have sensitivity. So that's my axis for the rudder. So I actually have dialed that down a bit. So I don't know why minus 30. I guess I wanted to set minus 40, but I set minus 39, whatever. 3% dead zone, that's fine. Regarding the joystick, let's have a look. Now that shouldn't be any. Oh, those are the brake axes. So these are the brake axes, but shouldn't they be linear? I wonder where I got those values from. Right, but anyways, the axes you can see here, I've got there. And for the joystick, I have set, let's do a dead zone of 3% because of that nuisance warning that may come up from time to time. And it's linear, right? So no curves whatsoever in the joystick axes, all right? So that's normal. Hey, Mr. Ted Barker. How are you doing, Ted? It was lovely to see you. I really, really enjoyed the day. It was a great taking the walk in the around the lakes there and having a wonderful meal. Yeah, thank you so much. Fantastic day. B is saying flying tomorrow after a week of break, scheduled for October, 2 hours a week on average. Nice. So hopefully soon then a solo coming up. Yeah, B. Very nice. So Stepke, you can't switch before the PMG 7474 Max, so is it out to tell it to your company? Oh, okay, yeah, Stepke, yeah, I'll tell them. All right, good. Some theory, guys. Before my iPad runs out of battery power, so let me connect. Right, what's happening? Why is it not connecting? Hold on. So let's do AirPlay, and let's connect AirPlay. That's important because I need to show you guys here that on my iPad. It's a lot better. All right, there we go. So here we go. So iPad. There we go. All right. So I hope you can all read that. Let me expand it a bit more. Cool. So, hey Geep, how you doing? Doing well. And Andreas, hit my physical pedals just a little bit and rudder goes to max. Then I go to max input and then it seems to work normal for a certain time. Okay, that's weird, yeah. So in theory, this is what Airbus says, all right? So this is not something I've made up. This is actually something we pilots train to, all right? So this is no made up stuff, so proper information. Right, so the objectives of the lateral and directional control of the aircraft during the flare are to land on a center line, right, that makes sense, right? And to minimize the lateral loads on the main landing gear. Now, listen to that. It doesn't say anything about drift or, blah, blah, blah. It says direction control of the landing of the aircraft during flare are to minimize the lateral loads on the main landing gear. Right. And I'll come across that in a second. So the recommended decrap technique is to use all of the following. The rudder to align the aircraft with the runway heading during the flare. The roll control, if needed, to maintain the aircraft on the runway centerline. Any tendency to drift downside should be counteracted by an appropriate lateral roll input on the side stick. In the case of a strong crosswind in the decrap phase, the pilot flying should be prepared to add small bank angle into the wind in order to maintain the aircraft on the runway centerline. Hey Lit, how you doing? The aircraft may be landed with partial decrap, so residual crap angle up to 5 degrees, to prevent an excessive bank. This technique prevents wingtip sharklet or engine nacelle striking caused by an excessive bank angle. So 7 degrees is what we have as a bank angle limit, which is quite a lot actually. It will scare the hell out of you in real life if you had a 7-degree bank angle on touchdown, I'll tell you. As a consequence, this may result in touching down with some bank angle into the wind, hence with the upwind landing gear first. So that's perfectly fine to do, all right? There is some more. That was under the Airbus thing. Before I go into that, let me just give you some theory. So, this would be the aircraft just prior to touchdown with a strong crosswind from the left. Alright? So, the nose would be pointing into the wind. Yellow color. Remember that when we look at the display in a second. The green arrow here shows the track of the aircraft over the ground. So in this constellation, the aircraft is actually going straight along the center line of the runway. All right. So this is all nice. This is perfect until the point where you touch down. All right. Obviously, if you touch down with the aircraft nose pointing, let's say 10 degrees to the left of the point where the aircraft is actually going, you're going to have an issue, especially if you have a dry runway, which has a lot of grip, which has a lot of friction, right? So, guys, if you think back the text I just showed you, what is the biggest issue touching down like that? What's the biggest issue? And wait for some answers. Exactly, side load. Remember here? Look at that text. The objective is to minimize the lateral load on the main landing gear. Exactly that. So, if you look at the landing gear, right, it's a strong landing gear, no doubt. Right, so you've got lots of struts, right, big struts. It can handle a certain amount of side load, no doubt. However, if the aircraft, if the tires are actually going in a direction opposite, in a direction which is not in line with the aircraft's track, you're going to put sideward stress on the landing gear as it touches down. There is a tendency for the wheels to turn into the direction of where you're going. Exactly.
4 years of permanently growing flight sim skills, BB711 thumbs up.
Thank you so much, Ralph. I love that text to speech. Ralph, thank you so much for a tier 2. 48 months. Thank you so much, Ralph. That's really kind of you. Thanks for the kind words and thanks for the support. Yeah, so let's go back. Let's go back to the oh, that's not the right one. Hold on. That's the right one. So So the biggest issue is as you touch down in this configuration, the landing gear will try to orientate itself in the direction of the track of the aircraft. So having a 10-degree angle on a very, very dry runway that has a lot of friction puts a lot of stress on the main gear. Now, you can imagine if you didn't decrab the aircraft before nose gear touchdown. Can you imagine the load on the nose gear as it slams onto the runway if you haven't decrabbed the aircraft on a dry runway? There's a lot of tension, a lot of sideward force. Now, the nose gear will take a lot of stress, all right? But if you do that repeatedly with the tires, with the landing gear, of course, there's going to be some fatigue at some point, right? So yes, of course, the ideal constellation would be that you decrab the aircraft completely, all right? So the aircraft goes in that direction and the nose is pointing in the same direction. That will be the ideal constellation. That's why we pilots try to decrab the aircraft, especially when the runway is dry. Now, contrary to other opinions, so I've seen a video, and I don't know bash that person, right? I admire any non-professional pilot bringing out videos, tutorial videos on landing technique, etc., etc. However, I do, give me the freedom as a real-world pilot to stress or point out some of the quotes that are wrong. All right, so the aircraft, as you touch down, the real aircraft, as you touch down in this constellation, where let's say you have a 10-degree crab angle, will not, I repeat, it will not shoot off in that direction after touchdown. All right, there is something called inertia. You have a big mass that's going in this direction, and it will in no way instantly go this way just because the landing gear touches down. It does not. That, ladies and gentlemen, is an issue with Microsoft Flight Sim and the way it is simulating ground friction. All right. Now, if a aircraft add-on maker comes out and overwrites the Microsoft simulation of the ground friction with its own friction model, then of course there may be an issue which we can't blame on Microsoft. But it's difficult for us flight simmers to kind of pinpoint where that issue is coming from. But again, let me stress, the real aircraft does not instantly shoot off to the left. Hey Nico, how you doing? Right, so what the aircraft will do is it'll touch down and the main gears will actually try to get the nose going into the direction. Hey Shalom, gifts. Hi Shalom, hey gifts back Shalom. So the landing gear on the dry runway will have a tendency to pull the nose towards the track of the aircraft. Okay? It does not do that instantly either, and it doesn't do it completely, meaning the aircraft will actually probably go somewhere in this direction at the end, all right? But it will not shoot off instantly to the left. No, it does not. If it did, I promise you we would see a runway excursion on a daily basis if that were to happen in real life. Always says, so mentioned the ground friction model issues many moons ago and said they plan to fix that. Okay, but still nothing. Yeah, exactly. So, also guys, this is good news for you guys because it means it is not your fault, okay? If you have issues landing the FENIX or PNBG in crosswind conditions, I can ease your mind. It's not your fault. It's not pilot fault, all right? It's a flight simulator fault. Having said that, of course, in that video, he does quote a couple of correct things, and that is the issue we sim pilots have is that it's extremely difficult to judge the runway track, the nose direction in
Hello,
this
Black
view. Hey Lee, how
Box.
big is there? So, without peripheral vision, hey Seed, or Ali, how you doing? So, the thing is that when we do a crosswind landing, and I've said that in, I think in X-Plane 11 some time ago, when we had some strong crosswind, it's really difficult just by looking outside to judge the drift of the aircraft. Mark, there we go. Lee, ja, sehr gut, dankeschön. Mir geht's gut. And greetings to Vienna. So, that's one thing I totally agree on, what that person said in the video. It is really difficult to judge your sideways drift on a 2D screen. That's for one. Also, of course, you should try to decrab the aircraft when you touch down or before touchdown, all right? Because if you do that, it will help you to get the aircraft stable a lot quicker. Why? Because the friction model of the Microsoft Flight Sim will then mean you're going to be going straighter within the center line direction. So there's less need for you to correct. All right. So yes, indeed, there is a good argument for getting the decrab going. I'll talk about the theory when we do the pattern, how we do that. Let me show you a little video though first. Oh no, let's go first of all. Let's go through some of the display things here, because that's something that person got wrong as well. So let me have a look. No, not recording. But there we go. So you know the nav display. So we are in Shannon. We're pointing directly down the runway track, and so the yellow marker, guys, what's a yellow marker on top here? What's that yellow thing? Yeah, Sapphire Wave, we'll get to that in a second. Hang on. How you doing? So what's the yellow line there? Heading, yeah, okay. Ali, yeah. So, yeah, exactly. So really simply speaking, guys, this is where your nose of the aircraft is pointing to. It is not a track, it's a heading. This is where the nose is pointing to, right? So in this case, as this is a magnetic heading, right, that line shows magnetic heading. It's as simple as that, and that's exactly where the nose is pointing. Right, that's where the longitudinal axis of the aircraft is pointing to. The green diamond below that is your track pointer. So of course we're not moving, so of course the track pointer is exactly in line with the yellow magnetic heading indication. So what happens if we're moving and we've got crosswind? So the wind is coming from this side, as you can see here, 26 knots from the left. So again, you can see the nose is pointing straight up, right? It's just a simple straight line to the front. This is your longitudinal axis, and reference to magnetic north, we are on a magnetic heading of roughly 43 to 44 degrees. The green line is not your runway track. No, it's not. All right? So that's a flight plan line there. That has to do with the flight plan, which we have inserted into the flight plan. But we can see that the green diamond up here, right? That green diamond, that is the track pointer. That is where the aircraft is actually tracking. And it makes sense. The wind is blowing us off to the right. So this is our heading. This is where the aircraft is going. The difference between that is the crab angle, or the drift angle. If you want to do pilot talk, it's drift angle, right? So the drift angle, assuming that's 0.56, it's about 12 degrees, 11 to 12 degrees of drift to the right. Now, this indication obviously is good because it gives us an idea how we can align everything with the runway localizer, or the ILS localizer, which is that pointer there, the magenta one, right? So we've got everything aligned, and that means we're tracking perfectly on the runway center line towards the runway, So again, guys, heading, track. On the primary flight display, again, this is where your nose is pointing. It's got a magnetic scale down here, so 044 degrees right now. We are on the localizer, on the glide slope. However, the aircraft is drifting to the right because the wind is coming from the left. It's pushing the aircraft to the right. So also we can see the localizer track there, right, 055 or 056 degrees, and the pointer, the green track pointer, is right over the ILS course. And again, that shows a lovely stable flight. We are our nose is pointing to the left of runway track, and the wind is pushing us along that track to the right towards the runway. So yeah, just remember, the green thing has nothing to do with runway track. It's not reference to runway. It is simply the direction the aircraft is going to. That's all it says. All right. So landing technique, and I've talked about this also many times. Landing technique in crosswind conditions in the A320 is different to a conventional aircraft, like the Boeing 737, for example. The reason being is that as long as we are in normal law and all flight control computers are working normally and we are in flight, so not on the ground, any stick input gives a roll rate demand to the flight control computers. What does that mean? It means in normal law, if I do this and hold the stick there, it's telling the flight control computers I want to roll to the left at a certain amount of degrees per second, right? If I let go of the stick and it goes back to neutral position, as you can see on the prime flight display, it means roll rate demand is 0. It doesn't mean wings level. It just means roll rate demand is 0. So if I have a 10-degree bank angle to the left, right, because I've put the stick to the left, the aircraft rolled to the left, and it's at a 10-degree bank, if I let go of the stick, the aircraft flight control computers will maintain that 10-degree bank angle. All right, it's flight augmented. It's flight augmentation. That's how the Airbus works. It's the same for the pitch axis, although in the pitch axis, what we are telling the flight control computers is a certain G load demand. So if I pull the stick back, I'm telling the flight control computers, hey, I want a positive G load on the aircraft, let's say 1.05 G. So the aircraft will then, the flight control computers will then manipulate the elevators at the rear of the aircraft to follow that command and meet my G load command. So the further I pull back, the more G load demand, the quicker the nose will rise and you'll feel a higher G load. The same thing if you go down. Any input below the horizon will tell the flight control computers I want a G load demand that is below 1G, because right now we are sitting at 1G in flight. If we don't have any inputs, it's a 1G flight path. If you are pointing your nose 10 degrees up, so let's say I'm pulling back, the aircraft pulls up the nose to meet the G load demand, and I let go, put that back into neutral position, the aircraft will maintain a 1G flight path, which then means the pitch will remain where we left it. That's how the Airbus flies, all right? So you can then understand that if you come in to land and you want to decrab the aircraft, you have a rudder input, and you do that very gently. You don't kick the rudder, right? It's a very slow, deliberate input, and the aircraft yaws to the right. Then simple aerodynamics, as the left wing comes forward, it will create more lift on the left side than on the right side. What you will probably do, just have a little short left input to tell the flight control computers, hey, I want a little bit of roll demand to the left, and so the aircraft will roll a bit to the left, maybe 3 degrees, depending on how much crosswind you have, and then you let go of the stick, and the aircraft will maintain that 3-degree bank angle, which will then mean, as you are pointing the nose towards the runway track, the aircraft will actually stay on center line because you have a little bit of a left bank. If you do not have a left bank, so you have 0-degree bank, and you just point the nose towards the runway track line, the wind will start to blow the aircraft to the right. Simple physics. All right. So a crosswind technique here in the A320 is, as you come, let's say 30 feet, that's where I normally start decrabbing. Rudder input very gently, look outside, see what the aircraft does, and then very lightly just go and nudge the stick, 2 or 3 times to the left. It's a very gentle input as well, depending on the crosswind. It may be a bit larger, but you're trying to find that sweet spot. Hey, Topixki, how you doing? So you're trying to find that sweet spot to keep the aircraft nicely stable going down the center line. So again, the idea is to maintain a nice centerline path and also reduce the stress on your landing gear. That's the main objective. In a conventional aircraft, and later when we fly the PMG 737, I'll give another clue there as well, it's a bit different. It doesn't have a flight control computer that manipulates the flight path. So there, the pilots, as they get their experience, as they practice and as they fly more often, they get a nice feel of the aircraft. And so what they will do is what's called cross controls. So for the flare, they'll do the same thing. They'll add a bit of rudder, align the nose with the runway center line, and then they will do a continuous left aileron input. And that way, kind of feel what the aircraft is doing, like feel what the wind is, how much the wind is picking up the wind, right? And so they will manipulate, but they'll have a continuous left aileron input. Right, so they have a cross control. They maintain that not until touchdown, but actually even after touchdown, until they reach a certain speed, and they don't have to worry about the wind picking up the wing anymore. So, different technique between Airbus and Boeing. All right. Right, we got some questions. Does pilots use rudders to align the aircraft on the runway in normal winds and in normal weather conditions? Yes, Ali. Yep, exactly that. But only on touchdown, so just prior touchdown, Ali, and trying to maintain runway centerline. So the rudder really is used in the following situations.
Welcome aboard
Hey,
the
Eternal.
Captain Black Box
Thank you so much.
YouTube channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Eternal, thanks for the 10 months. And he writes, thanks for the continued entertainment. That's my pleasure. I just want to point out, because the thing is this, guys. So we see videos come out, right, tutorial videos on how to do certain things. And that gentleman was doing a tutorial video on how to land the A320 in crosswind conditions and telling people that it's pilot error. If they're not controlling it correctly, which is only partly correct because, like I mentioned, there's a lot of things still wrong in how Microsoft Flight Sim simulates friction or aerodynamic forces, or inertia for that matter. So it's not all pilot fault. Yeah, so theory, right, for the real pilots and for what Airbus is teaching their pilots and telling them what to do and what not to do. Is a bit different to, some of those videos that are coming out.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box YouTube channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks
Hey,
and
Alpha, how you
premium
doing?
flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Yoda, Dankeschön, lecker. Thank you so much, Yoda, for the 9 months here on YouTube. I will nail my landings now, thanks. Well, I hope so. Okay, so I'll show you a real-world landing, a short video, and have a look at my stick inputs as we come down towards the flare, and also see where I do my runway alignment. Oh, sorry, hang on, that was the wrong button.
100 above. 300.
So you can see definitely how the aircraft is actually still
Minimum
pointing to the
200.
left. So the heading is to the left, and we're drifting to the right along the runway centerline track. And you can see from the inputs I'm doing, it is gusty, it's windy.
50. 40. 30,
So here comes the decrab
20, retard,
and a little left stick
retard.
input. A little bit of left bank, and the aircraft touched down with the left main gear first. So, if you don't decrab the aircraft completely, don't worry about it. Like Airbus says, until 5 degrees, there is not really a big issue. It does happen fast, but that's why you practice. That's why you have a long training period, and also lots of instruction on the real aircraft. And it doesn't happen instantly that you learn how to do these things. But weird thing is, if I look back on at my let's say last 12 months of flying, and I've done a lot of flying in the last 12 months. The amount of crosswind landings, and I'm talking crosswind like 25 knots and more, has been extremely rare. So the issue really is that we don't get to practice that often with these conditions. So if we get to, let's say, an airport where we have winds gusting up to 35 crosswind, it's where your experience obviously is limited in the sense of looking back over the last 12 months, but over your complete flying career, it's something that you have actually acquired. So you have acquired a certain amount of knowledge and feel for the aircraft, and you know how to do these inputs. However, it still means that, for example, when I have an airport with lots of crosswind, I mentally prepare, and I'm kind of laying down a game plan on how I'm going to approach the runway, right? Because I'm trying to prime myself in how I will do the flare, right? What I have to remember. So I'm anticipating certain things to happen. And one thing that comes to mind is I'm not going to kick the rudder, right? It's not going to be hasty inputs. It's going to be just gentle inputs, steady inputs, and not oscillating. If you look at videos, especially remember some of the ones in Düsseldorf or in Birmingham, if you look at these crosswind landings that go a bit wrong, and I remember there was an A380 that had a real issue going left and right after touchdown. It's not because the aircraft suddenly pulls left or right, because of these forces acting on the wheels. So let me just find there we go. So it's not because you have a certain amount of crab angle on touchdown, right? The aircraft doesn't shoot left. No, it's because the pilots delayed the decrabbing, were touching down, and then kind of panically used rudder input to straighten the nose. However, at that point, the aircraft was already feeling the force after touchdown to straighten up with the way the aircraft is actually going. Hey, Tail West, how you doing? So yes, it's pilot-induced oscillations where it's just excessive amount of rudder input, which is unusual, right? It doesn't happen very often that you actually feel that, and that can lead to these extreme oscillations. So Teo West, being a real-world A320 captain as well, and very knowledgeable, I don't know, he may correct me on one or two things, but so let's do 06. Right, I'm just going to do something, guys. I'm going to do a little left-hand pattern. All right. Well, that's kind. Okay, Tailwest as well said. Thank you so much. That's good. But then again, I mean,
Welcome aboard
you know,
the Captain Black Box Twitch channel
having flown this
subscriber
this computer
Could new subscribers
this
please
computer
make
airplane
your
for
way
some
to the
time.
first-class cabin, where complimentary drinks,
You know how
snacks,
you know
and
the little
flight
hacks,
entertainment will be
the
served.
Airbus hacks
Thank you.
to get around landing this thing. Right, so I've inserted a little bit of crosswind, although that should be about 25 knots with so a little bit of gust, nothing too major, but it'll kind of give you an idea. And Mark, thank you so much for gifting a sub. That's really kind of you. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, so the sharklets, of course, then have the issue that they have a certain area where the wind can actually attack nicely on, because they're pointing straight up, and the wind coming from one side obviously pushes nicely on these sharklets. So indeed, in crosswind conditions, the sharklets become a little bit more twitchy compared to the wingtip fences. Tom, hey, you asked, hey, do you know why my speed is increasing from time to time on the final approach on managed speed? Yeah, because Tom, most likely, if using managed speed, it's what's called ground speed mini function. I made a video on that as well on my YouTube channel. It's a feature of the flight management system where it'll look at your entered tower wind and the actual wind. And if you have a wind gust, especially a positive wind gust, it means your indicated airspeed will increase, but also the target bug, so that magenta target bug, speed bug, will also go up to meet that that higher kind of speed coming from the front. What it's trying to do is trying to maintain a constant ground speed, if you like, so a constant energy level above the ground. And the cool thing is, what it does is, as you have, you know, positive and negative wind gusts, it adjusts that target speed bug, and that means if you have auto thrust on, there's less need for the thrust to vary to maintain the commanded speed. Thank you much, Mark, for that. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Don't see that. I don't know. It's not that I'm slapping EasyJet's impilot. I'm not. I'm just correcting some of the things he said, because let me do that, because he said even real pilots get it wrong. Right? Yeah, I mean, real pilots do get things wrong.
Welcome aboard.
But I'm pretty sure they all know how decrabbing the aircraft goes, etc., etc.
Could
and
new
you know, the
subscribers
technique.
please make their way to the
If
first class
anything,
cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment will be served.
Oh.
Thank you.
If anything, what they get wrong is they over-control things. Hey, Saran, thank you so much for subscribing. So, Saran, Onur, thank you so much for becoming a member here. Much appreciated. Can somebody post a link to that video, please? I don't have it with me right. Although, hang on, I do have it. Hold on.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel.
Don't get me wrong. It's a good
Could new
video.
subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Here's the link. Right. Again, it's a good video. It's just got a few things wrong in there. That's all I was saying. Oh, lol. What? Why did it cancel my own link? Are you kidding me? There we go. Right, so for some reason, why is my connection lost? I'm not dropping any frames on OBS. I do have internet connection. That's weird. All right, cool. So enough of the talking. Let me just do one pattern or two patterns here to show you in theory what you should do. And again, if you find the aircraft not behaving as expected on the ground, or if you're using X-plane, for example, if you're using X-plane, there we go. And the aircraft there handles differently. It's simply because X-plane does simulate these forces better than Microsoft Flight Sim. Thank you much, Saran. And RB Score coming in as well. 30 months on Twitch. Thank you so much, RB. How are you doing? Well. I have the issue that if I leave in managed speed, it suddenly goes into Toga power. Really? Okay, Mr. 90, that is really weird. Oh, you meant the real... No, I don't have that published. No, so at the moment, I don't publish these videos. Hang on, one more thing to do here. Just need to activate my connection here. There we go. That. So let's prepare everything. Oh, also, I don't know if you guys noticed, I did some takeoffs today, and what I found was that, weirdly enough, I didn't have to do many inputs with the rudder on takeoff. So normally, with a strong crosswind from the left, what I would expect is that you have to add right rudder to maintain centerline tracking.
Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin?
Oh, Geep, yeah, thanks for the link. Okay, so Geep has just posted on Twitch, he's posted a link to that YouTube video with the A380 landing, and you can see the over controlling with the rudder there. And Ralph, thank you as well to you, Ralph, for gifting us up to Airbus fan. Airbus fan, guten Abend, wie geht's dir? Cool. So, crosswind takeoff. Let's talk about crosswind takeoffs. What we don't do in the Airbus is we don't do left stick inputs into the wind. We don't. Because what that does, it brings up the spoilers, which adds drag and roll moment, obviously, and your performance that you have calculated with does not take that into account. Right? It assumes that the spoilers are retracted, not extended. Right? So that's what we don't do. There's no need for it either. Hey, Freda. So, crosswind takeoff, you add rudder inputs gently to maintain to maintain the rudder center line, the runway center line, right? And then as you lift off, you pull back, and then you anticipate maybe that the left wing will come up as the wind gets hold of it. So be ready after liftoff to add a little bit of left stick input. So that's the idea. Right, let's do this. So we've done everything, let's go. That's a bit wrong. That's better. So, stick down input at the nose wheel control. Set. So right now the aircraft has a tendency, yes, to pull a little bit to the left. Let's have a look what the wind says. It's 20 knots crosswind, so I would expect the wind to be a little bit stronger, or actually the nose pull more to the left, but it does pull a little bit. So here comes rotation, and now what I feel, the moment I rotate the aircraft, look at that, it's just a huge amount of force suddenly that comes up, meaning as you lift off, the friction on the wheels stops, and that's when things go a little bit kind of wonky, right? I've noticed that, and it doesn't happen that way in the real aircraft. So definitely something not true to life. And Lilo, hey, how you doing? So thrust level climb heading will go up 3,000 feet. Oh, that's a nice crosswind, 43 knots, GG's. And Lederhosen Charlie, hey, how you doing? Hey, forward, good evening. Wie geht's dir? So yeah, this is Shannon scenery by MK Studios, by the way. But don't worry, we will do our flight in a minute from London Heathrow to Shannon. It's an hour flight time, so don't worry. It's just a little demonstration regarding the crosswind and issues people are having. Flap 0, speed is check, flap 0. So quite a good crosswind to deal with. Let's just enter a approach, ILS approach 06, no start and no dial. Now, if it's any consolation to you guys, here in the flight sim in Microsoft with Crosswind, even I have issues. Even my landings, Crosswind landings here in Microsoft Flight Sim are nowhere near as stable as they would be in real life. So yeah, you can relax a little bit. So if you get frustrated with not managing your crosswind landings the way you think you should handle them, it's not your fault entirely, right? It's not all pilot error. Don't let anybody fool you in believing that. So let's activate the approach phase. We've got 1013, 15 degrees roundabout. And the wind was, I think, 320 at 25 knots or something. So let's do a visual approach here. So no minimum entered. Have you been to Shannon in real life? Yes, I have actually. I've actually been here on the 737 a long time ago, and I remember that we did some maintenance flights here. It's your fault in X-Plane. Yeah, so in X-Plane, your margin for excuses is a bit smaller compared to Microsoft. Greetings from Munich, or Greeks to Munich. Yes, hello. Hope you're doing well. Guys, okay, so yeah, you know, in all seriousness, don't worry too much about not, you know, getting these crosswind landings correct in Microsoft Flight Sim. But so what's it called? EasyJet Sim Pilot has got it correct, saying that obviously here in the flight sim you are at a disadvantage because of the 2D screen. You can't really see the track of the aircraft compared to where the nose is pointing. So in real life it's a lot more pronounced. And also it does help if you align or decrab the aircraft, so you align the runway head, or the heading of the aircraft with the runway heading. That does help. It does help make your landings a bit more stable, no doubt. Flaps 1, speed is check, flaps 1. So let's switch on LS keys here. Flaps 2, speed is checked. Well, let's actually go 170 knots. Sapphire Wave says the problem with Microsoft Flight Sim is I think it's a bad transition between flight and ground behavior. Yeah. No, so Sapphire Wave, in my opinion, and again, it's just my opinion, I'm not a programmer, I'm not involved in programming anything in the Microsoft Flight Sim, so, which is a good thing, actually. But what I feel is that the moment you touch down, the friction is like 100%, and it's looking at where your aircraft nose is pointing. And it literally feels like if you're pointing like 10 degrees left of center line, that's where the aircraft is going to go after touchdown. So yes, of course, that is not like real world behavior. It's not. Hey Trick, yeah, sure, go ahead. You can ask me. In real life, the aircraft will still have a tendency to move along its track that was having previously prior touchdown. But yes, of course, if it's a dry runway, lots of friction on it, it will start to pull the, go more and more into the direction that the aircraft nose is pointing to. But it's a kind of a you know, I would say a midway tendency. So we've got glide slope blue, lock star right now, coming up the glide slope. Yeah, exactly. So FENIX, that would be exactly my observation. Right, look at that. So what I was saying, right, the aircraft now, the autopilot is quite clever. So it knows it's got 43 knots crosswind. So it knows in order to track on the center line, it's got to have a wind correction angle because it has a huge drift angle. That's 15 degrees drift angle right now. Right, but the autopilot, being very clever, does that for you. Now, if you were to switch off the flight directors, which in these conditions would be a bit silly to do, and you get the flight path vector, right, it's telling you it's going down at -3 degrees, so which is correct. But look at that, 10 degrees, 15 degrees, also telling you you're drifting 15 degrees to the right. And, wow, look at that coincidence. It's actually lining up with that track pointer down here. Right? Cool thing, isn't it? So if you were to do the silly thing of flying raw data in these conditions, gears coming down, you are actually trying to be a hero, but you are risking a missed approach. Right. That is just the way it is. Flaps 3, speed shut, flaps 3.
Thank you.
Doing a raw data landing in these conditions is extremely hard. Yes, the ask bot is still in op. Yes, Lilo, yeah, it is. It takes a lot of scanning of the instruments. So, again, that track pointer there is just telling you where the aircraft is tracking with regards to the ground. So if I go a little bit left here, you see how the aircraft track line there is not aligned with the runway anymore. All right, so we're not going to hit the runway that way. Now it is. So I can use that track pointer, careful speed, to help me align the aircraft with the center line. So my scan right now would be descent rate, so vertical speed, my deviation from glide slope, the flight path vector getting way fast. And now I've got the drift pointer to the right of the localizer, and that means I will close back in on the localizer, obviously. So then, once I reach the center line again, what I do now, I try to align that drift pointer with the localizer course. So that way, I know I'm drifting towards or along the localizer. Right, landing checklist, incoming landing no blue. Landing checklist completed. So, that's how you can use these indications to help you align and keep aligned with the runway track. So as we mentioned, as we come down about 30 feet, we want to start decrabbing the aircraft, although in these conditions, in these conditions, it's going to be tough to completely align the nose of the aircraft with the runway. So I'm not doing a good job with maintaining the vertical profile. And in real life, as you saw in that video, there's a lot of stick inputs. You are constantly correcting.
200.
Right, 29 knots from the left. So, as we come in, a bit left of center line there, which is not good position. Right, so we go
40, 30, 20, retard.
Right, so a little bit left stick input all the time. Come on.
That was tricky. Good landing after all.
What the hell was that? Who was commenting on? Yeah, so again, you can see even I have difficulties maintaining the runway centerline because it's so twitchy. And that again has to do with the fact that the friction model is just way overdone. Oh, it's FS realistic. That starts automatically. How dare. That's why. That's why it actually we had that that touchdown simulation as well. Right, but in theory, guys, twitchy, yeah, exactly. So in theory, use your instruments, right? So understand what that yellow line means and what that that drift pointer means. That helps you to align yourself with the runway center line and also helps you track it. Then as you come in to the flare, about 30 feet, start in a very, very smooth input, right? Very smooth the rudder, align the nose, but don't do it fast. Don't do it quickly, because that way it's a lot more difficult to control. And as you're doing it, do some very short, stick inputs to the left. And that way you have a little bit of bank angle to the left, not much, 3 degrees, let's say, but that will help you to stop drifting to the right. That's the thing. Yeah, exactly. So exactly my saying, tourist. So the inertia simulation is missing, because if it were correct, what would happen? Obviously, let's see if I can get connected again with the iPad. So as you touch down, the wheels, the tires, would then connect with the asphalt, with the runway, and you will have a natural tendency, if it's not slippery, that is, if it's nice dry runway, it'll already have the tendency to pull the aircraft nose towards the center line, so towards the track of the aircraft, although not completely, all right? And so that's already a good thing to help you align the aircraft nose after touchdown. Although, again, easy, just don't overdo the inputs. And also, don't let go of the flight controls immediately after touchdown, right? Be ready to continuously correct if necessary, but once the spoilers are out, they kill all of the lift. I mean, if you look at how many spoilers you have, how many ground spoilers, and they come up fully after touchdown, you can see that it does kill the lift, and that quite efficiently. So there shouldn't really be any big issues after touchdown. Hey Brian, how you doing? And King Treat, hello. How different is flare law versus normal law? Okay, so flare law. The thing is, guys, the flare law in the COs, that is nothing too magical, right? All it does, it simulates a conventional aircraft behavior. That means as you reduce the thrust to idle and the aircraft gets slower, you have to continuously pull back on the stick to not have the nose slam down. But again, if you're in the air, the aircraft is still in normal law. So if you don't have any artificial nose down input by the elevators, it will just maintain the pitch angle, and so you would have to push the nose down to land the aircraft after actually have it touch down, which is something pilots are not used to doing. All right, so Airbus has implemented something as a kind of flare law, meaning, or it's actually a flare mode. It means that the aircraft, when it passes 50 feet radial altimeter height, the auto trim stops working, so the horizontal stabilizer is frozen, and the aircraft then has a nose down input, right? So it says there's a 2 degree nose down input over 8 seconds time, right? So if you don't pull back on the stick, the nose will drop continuously. So yeah, you have to pull back on the stick and you kind of have a feeling that you're flying a conventional aircraft. But that's it, right? That's all the magic that happens. Okay. Yeah, and I know that there is also some tendency then for the aircraft then to have the elevators move into a more direct stick to elevator input. Although there's still some dampening happening, so I wouldn't say it's a conventional aircraft in that sense. All right, there's still some dampening happening. Hey, Carbon Bell, greetings. And MAN, hello. Right, cool. That shall be it for now. Let's go to London Heathrow now and start our flight. But I hope I've cleared up a couple of these misconceptions about the A320 crosswind landings. And again, it's not all your fault, okay? So we're going to go to Echo Golf, Lima, Lima. And I think I saw the Aer Lingus parked here. Hey, Arthur. No, so Arthur, hola. How are you? ¿Cómo estás? So initially, there was a lot of questions about the behavior of the FENIX with the last updates. So people having control issues on the ground, especially with crosswind conditions. Now, I know that there's an issue apparently with the roll of the aircraft, so the aircraft rolling like crazy. Now, I've not noticed that, but definitely the problem is mainly down to Microsoft Flight Sim friction model, right? The moment you're on the ground, inertia becomes non-existent, if you like, and all that matters is where your nose of the aircraft is pointing, and that's obviously not true in real life. So that's where the issues will arise for people. So when people have flown, let's say in P3D or X-Plane, they will have issues now in Microsoft Flight Sim in these crosswind conditions. Yeah, there we go. That's correct. There you are correct. That couldn't be true. So look sharp. Hello. You asked, do we align using rudder? Yeah. So again, rudder. Have a look at the real world video I've shown here. So there's Crosswind from the left here. That's into Edinburgh, by the way. And so when you come into the flare, you'll see me add a little bit of right rudder to line the nose, but it's a very smooth input. Right, and then you see me add some very short left stick inputs, trying to keep the left wing down a bit. Not much, 2 or 3 degrees. It's hardly noticeable, but it's there. So, so I do touch down first here with the left main gear.
50. 40,
so there we go.
30,
Here comes the decrab,
20,
ever so slightly, and left wing
retard.
down. You see that? And then comes the touchdown. No MA, so the first flight will take place now. Yeah. So just starting to load in, and the first flight will start now. I'm sorry, Trick. Yeah, I did miss your question. I'm sorry. So Trick, you saw the video on Thrustmaster Airbus setup, which was great. I just bought the Boeing. Well, I had it for 2 months now, but unable to set up. Did you do a video for the Boeing kit? No. Which one do you mean, Trick? Do you mean the Boeing thrust levers? Or the Boeing yoke? Which one do you mean? I'm sorry for missing that question. And Flylilo says, we don't see any weather radar in Microsoft Sober marked as fixed there as they fixed their weather radar. It is. I find that extremely negative for Microsoft Flight Sim. Yes, indeed. Because we all know, yeah, that was all break medium, Yoda, I think. So the, you know, the real kind of fun factor is when you fly around weather especially when it's convective and you have thunderstorms moving about. And Microsoft does a great job in simulating the moving weather, so the moving rain showers. That's really cool. So it would be an absolute blast if they actually got the weather radar simulation correct. I agree fully on that. I would love to have a proper working weather radar system. Why? Because imagine flying around real world weather and you have an airport that's, having issues with thunderstorms that day. And then you have a proper working weather radar system where you can fly a holding pattern somewhere, and every time you scan that weather radar or that weather cell, it kind of moves just like in real life. And so you have your theory and you have your strategy on maybe when to approach and from which direction to approach because the cell is moving in this direction, just like in real life. That would be so cool. So yes, in my opinion, that definitely needs fixing. And up to this point, I was actually under the impression that they are fixing it. So I'll be honestly shocked if they do not pursue that any further. I just need to restart Microsoft Flight Sim here. I'm sorry. Seems to be hung up on something. Yeah, so definitely weather radar system. No, it's not there yet, and it definitely needs improvement. They said it wasn't planned to share the API with devs. Well, that's a real downside. And so if they don't share the API with developers, external developers, well, then they should at least fix it. Have you already tried FSLTL? What's that? Oh, delivery for VATSIM traffic. No, I've not. Again, I came back yesterday evening, guys, from my last trip. So I'm currently flying like crazy. No joke. I am seriously flying a lot at the moment. And so every time I come back, I kind of pick up on, what's been happening in the flight sim world. And I see new sceneries come out, like Los Angeles today. We're flying to Los Angeles later on. I also saw Shannon come out as a new airport, and I want to try that. And I had, some discussions going on about the FS Labs and how the ground friction suddenly, or the crosswind behavior was off, etc., etc. So, okay, so yeah, I will try. So FSTL, I'll try to get it installed tomorrow. Now I'm on reserve duty from Thursday onwards. So I don't know when I'll be able to stream next, but I'll keep you posted. And then, so for the next stream after today, then I will try to have that model matching installed to see what it's like. It's from the fly-by-wire install. Okay, Andreas, thank you for that. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Trig 2020. So if you're still here, hopefully, what are we talking about then? Simply the thrust levers or the yoke? No, I have not done any videos on that, but I know Chewy. So Chewy, also a streamer on Twitch, I'm sure that he's made a video on that. Oh yeah, Lilo, I agree. Yeah, even a basic weather radar would really help. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Let me get through the flight plan with you guys then. So, Heathrow, wonderful airport to depart from, obviously, and fly into as well. But today we're departing on the Compton 3 Foxtrot, if it's 27 right in use. It's an hour flight time exactly. Runway 24 expected for Shannon. The alternate is Dublin, and 5.2 is the planned takeoff fuel, so 5.4 would be the planned block fuel with an extra of 600 kilograms, giving us 16 minutes roughly. The weather, it's got some SIGMETs, London between level 80 and 180. You've got some severe mountain waves. Embedded thunderstorms in what? Oakland Oceanic? That doesn't really matter to us. Shannon, light rain at the moment, few 600, scattered 1500, 15 degrees. And the forecast for later, rain drizzle, broken 700. Wind 270, 10. Nothing too major, nothing too bad. Dublin, our alternate, also same weather. I mean, it's the same deal, really. Maybe a bit windier, but all, you know, nothing really that could be seen as a threat. So all good. And Heathrow 220 at 12 at the moment. Good visibility. Scattered 28, 17 degrees. So that's all fine. No, Acuna, there was no discussion with FS Labs. No, the FSLTL, that is a new traffic add-on. So aircraft model add-on for VATSIM. And you can download it through the fly-by-wire installer in Microsoft Flight Sim, that is. Wow, it's taking a long time to load today. What's happening now? Oh, did I? No, sorry, I meant FENIX. I'm old, I get confused, alright? No, FENIX. I know we're all waiting for news, aren't we, regarding FS Labs in Microsoft Flight Sim. Right, we're slowly getting there, but boy, it's taking a long time. Jeez. Oh, we are there. Fantastic. Right, let's go again. London Heathrow. MAN, are you joining by any chance? Let's go... Shall we do real time? No, let's go daytime because I want to see the scenery. All right, let's go a little bit late afternoon or something. So we're departing from... I think we're departing from... That is a bit weird. Is that 225s? Yeah, that must be 225, 224. There we go. So set departure. Oh, go. There we go. Fly. Airbus fan says, don't know why FS Labs doesn't drop a screenshot or two. I agree. I agree, Airbus fan. Because we don't really know. Oh, MAN, fantastic. So we don't really know. Yeah, if they are serious about coming to Microsoft Flight Sim, or if it's just a, I don't know, a little joke on their side. Who knows? But for sure, I would love to have that in Microsoft Flight Sim. Yeah, MAN, no worries. I'm still loading in as well, so all good on that. So the flight plan has been filed, although that was an hour ago, so hopefully it's still valid. Let's go ready to fly. Right, I need to restart my FENIX app as well. Then it's not hooking on automatically. Let's try that again. So we're doing live weather, obviously. There we go. Now it's starting up. Lilo says that FSTL can cause crash the desktops on Microsoft Flight Sim. Okay, that's a bit weird. So, I want to try to use GSX. Do I dare do so? Let's start Quattle. And let's have a look. Yeah, so across the pond, that's a good topic. I have applied. Hey Bruno, how you doing? I have applied for the slot or lottery, the slot lottery. Let's do that. Are we in the wrong spot here? Why is that not working? Slottery. Yeah, Slottery. Isn't that Slottery? Isn't that called that way? I don't know. Let's do Simbri. So let's depart in about 30 minutes from now. So 1600 UTC, 1600 here in the sim. Let's try that. 1600. Update. So 33 minutes to go. Ground. Yeah, that does work. So I'm not sure why GSX couldn't move the jetway. Man, that's alright. That is alright. So, now, mass and balance. So what do we want to do? We want to call some stuff in here, don't we? So request refueling.
Truck is on its way.
And we
Please don't
have...
leave aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
Yeah. So that's that. 5.4. Expecting 150 passengers. Cool. So, let's have a look at the overhead panel first of all. Make sure that everything is dandy there. So, that should be on. That's fine. That's good. Seatbelt's still off, so we are refueling. We'll leave the APU off for now. So that's all fine. So we are in transit. Well, there we go. That's good feedback. So someone's saying he's got no problems with FSLTL. Okay, that's good. So ATSU, let's go AUC menu, flight init request. I have to admit, though, I'm still not firm on when to use which function in GSX and in the FENIX. So if anybody has some good tips, please let me know. So I guess you would have, what, GSX simulate boarding and fueling, and then you just load everything. Yeah, Bruno, I know, but we all here for the memes, aren't we? And look at that cool livery. I've seen that one a couple of days ago, actually, IRL in Dublin. Right, so the fuel truck is obviously taking its time. I mean, it is London Heathrow, isn't it? Oh, we need to connect as well. Hang on, connect. We are 385. Oh, let's please nobody be here at my position, please, 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 please. Ooh, I hope that was MAN there, and there's another one there. Fantastic. Oh, lovely. Look at that. Wow, there's a lot of look at all the Aer Lingus there. Mark, I'm sorry to say I don't see any Speedbirds. Well, I guess they would be over here, wouldn't they? They would be in this direction. Somewhere in the distance there. Oh, there's our fuel truck. I found it. Completely disrespectful coming across the taxi line or taxiways there. Nice. The new posh bit, exactly. Have you actually, Mark? Have you flown from there yet? Have you actually been a passenger there? Andrea says, what I've seen working, go through the complete GSX boarding process and then at the end load instant on the FENIX. Roger that. I will try that. Only East Midlands. One thing I love though is the way the sim looks here with the GSX. That's actually nice. You don't want to lose luggage, so no to London Heathrow. Yeah, GG. Tough question. Do you prefer the A320 CEO or the Neo? I actually prefer the Neos. I know that there's people out there that don't like the Neos, but I have to admit I do like them. I've arranged myself with them, so I'm happy to use them and fly with it, and I think I can pretty much handle it. But yeah, it's a lovely aircraft to fly. And I actually used the soft go around mode in real life a couple of weeks ago. Brilliant, such a cool feature. It even had the connection sound there. How cool is that?
Welcome aboard the
Hey,
Captain
MAN.
Black Box YouTube channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
MAN, thank you so much for 7 months on YouTube. Although I don't have much time to watch your streams recently, I really enjoy the scarce moments. Keep on edutaining. Really kind, MAN. Thanks for joining when you have the time.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
I know that we're all really, really busy, aren't we? So, we're supposed to set 3,000 kilograms. I'm lost. So what do you mean? What do they mean with I have to set the fuel?
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
Load aircraft. Like, well, I have to do instant now. Okay, instant. Well, that doesn't make much sense, does it? If you have to do instant. Alright, so he's finished fueling now. Alright. It doesn't matter. Let's continue then. We are a bit late anyways, so let's do this. We've got Tower. Let's see if they do have SEPA DLC or pre-departure clearance. I mean, we can try, can't we? Let's try that. So, ATC request, pre-departure clearance. We might as well try. Gate number, where are we? Hold on. We are 224. ATIS information is Charlie. There we go. Hey, Sir Dirty Dog, how you doing? You can also do it real or fast. Okay. Yeah, maybe I should have done that on real time then. Yeah, that's true. So, flight number, we are Shamrock, right? So, Shamrock 385. God, that call sign. I'm going to forget that all the time, I think. Shamrock. Yeah, my sim took ages as well, MAN. It really did. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Wow, it's working. Ooh. So, we are cleared to Shannon, runway 27 left departure, Compton 3 Golf, and squawk 5574. So, 5574. Yeah. Give me a second. Close. So, recall. So, we've got Compton 3 Golf. Let's enter that here really quickly. Before I do forget. 27 left. Compton 3 Golf. Insert. When ready, call 18.5. If unable, revert to voice. We shall do so. So 18.5. I always love it when there's ATC. Really cool. Yeah, the engine sound. Yeah, it does. It does sound a lot better now. Yeah. Oh, you mean in the Neo, right? Yeah, the Neo engine sounds. For the passengers, it's a lot better. Absolutely. So for the arrival, we've got planned the T-Pur to Delta. So we're going to do an ILS-24 via the T-Pur to Delta arrival. Approach via... let's have a look what that looks like first of all before we decide on via. Well, it's no via, isn't it? Because it's going to be pretty much straight in. So let's have a look here. So straight across and then on to the final. Perfect, we'll take that. So back to our flows, init A page. The cost index is 5, which is pretty realistic. Fuel is still pretty expensive. So 340 is what we planned for, and up there we've got -46. Now the wind. Let's have a look at what the wind says today. Average wind component still -51, so we still have good headwind component, unfortunately. But there we have it. Let's load the flight plan. Oh, and also let me just do the following. Let me board. Start boarding. Import. Chain reactor. How are you doing? Well, I mean, you know. But if you're interested, we are back on using packless takeoffs and using the load factor to determine if we use econ flow or low flow for the packs. So taxiing, that's a good chart to have a look at, and then we'll go to ground charts, departure, Compton Tree Golf. So Compton Tree Golf says we go up to 6,000 feet.
Pilot's boarding starting.
6,000 in there. Q&H, before I forget that again, is 1016. 1016, that looks good. Fantastic. That's a good question, Mark. I guess normally it says sim brief okay, doesn't it? So normally it should know the fuel value and the passenger value, correct? Yeah. Yeah, it is weird. Airbus fan? Well, I don't know. I guess that's why people are a bit disappointed, because it's not working. So init A page, init B page. We are expecting a zero fuel weight of. Let's have a look here. That's received messages. So we've got the load sheet's already there. So let's go not really there. Pre-departure clearance. Let's have a look at the final figures then. So 59 tons of zero fuel weight, and we've got a
Your crew has boarded.
zero fuel weight of 31.4. Put that in there, and the block fuel obviously is 5.4. I'm pretty sure I had everything set for a dark cabin. Hang on. I guess it doesn't save that. Sim settings, cabin lights off. I don't like those. Save. Controls. No, linked. Right, save. Well, that's saved. That's correct. That's the way I want to. Okay, the rest is fine. Cool. So, init A page, init B page. Let's load the wind data as well. Wind request. So cruise wind is inserted as well. Descent wind's fantastic. So everything's inserted with the wind. That's good. Good. I want 1.2 tons final reserve fuel with the normal fuel flow. That's fine. And the alternate fuel, don't be fooled. The alternate fuel to Dublin. Yeah, each livery. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it is 1.3 rounded up. So 1.3 tons, and that will give us later on a better value for the. So don't worry, that's going to get better as we start up with everything and then get going. That's obviously still the issue with the fuel flow not being correct, etc., etc. So in the A page, in the B page, flight plan page, RATNAV page. Now for our departure route, we've got to set something here. So I want to have Coventry Golf straight ahead, intercept London, radio 256 to 70 knees, then turn right, intercept 2868 bearing towards Woodley, NDB, and then cross 11 DME London between 3 and 6,000 feet, and cross Woodley above 4,000 but below 6 or max 6,000, and then Compton towards Compton 8 miles prior, 6,000 at, and Compton at 6,000 unless ATC obviously clears us further. So we want London VOR in here, that's one, and then we want Woodley WOD, and we want Compton as well. Charlie Papa Tango, put that in there. Cool, so that's all set. Then we come to performance. So normally London Heathrow, guys, what you want to do is plan for the following taxiways. So what we do in real life is we speculate on November Bravo 3. So November 3, November Bravo 3, that's the takeoff position. That way, if you've got heavies waiting at Bravo 2 Whiskey or Bravo 2 Echo, you actually can bypass them. So that's really, really neat. So that's what we're going to do. Hopefully we can do that actually here. So let's do view intersection data. Actually, let's go with the 27 left first of all. And then we've got November 3. There it is. Dismiss. So final load sheet. Sync the weather. Just in case it drops a little bit of the pressure, we'll do that. And for the temperature, we'll do 1 degree warmer. Wind is fine. And again, intersection takeoff, November Bravo 3. We've got a 400 meter shift. Flap 2 takeoff, that's fine. 68. And down 0.3. So down 0.3. 68 on the flex, 400 meters shift. Oh, he's back. He's right next to her. Oh no, he's back. 143, 143, 145. 143, 143, and 145. Now, real world hack. Put in 6,100 here in the transition altitude. That way you don't get that blinking QNH scale there. Is there anything different I need to do start FENIX from working since the last update? No. Did you start the app? If not, try to close the app and then reload the app. It should work. It should connect that way. So that's all done. Yeah, sometimes I have the issue that it doesn't connect automatically, but then when I close it and do it again, start up again. Oh, that looks brilliant. That works. Now, this is something I love. I just love the way that is simulated. That's really entertaining. At least I think so. I put in shift 40 meter. Okay, I'll have to check that. Thank you. I will check that in a second. Hold on. Just watching that container disappear into the cargo hold there. That's actually really cool. Oh, and it even moves that way. That's really cool. I never saw that before. That's really nice. I like it. There, corrected. Good catch. Hi, pharmacist. Excellent. So, anything else? Anything else I need to do here? 3. No, that's all good. That's all entered. Engine out. Right, so we've got some airport infos. So we've got NADP2. We'll enter that. 1090, 1090. Engine out acceleration is in 1600 feet. Oops. Didn't take that key press. Right, 1600. And for the procedure, engine out is just straight ahead 270 degrees to 25 miles if needed. So Echo Golf Lima Lima 27 left 270 degrees until 25 miles. That's the engine out. MAN, let me know please if you manage to get it working. Right, 16 degrees ground temperature, that's fine. Okay, cool. Unit A page, B page, performance page, secondary flight plan, copy active. Let's do a return plan here. Back to London Heathrow, 27 right. So 27 right, ILS, no star, and oh, that's a tough one, MAN. Yeah, I hope you get that quickly started up again. Man, that's annoying. No, so like I said, I just updated and do you actually need to enter a shift value with no? So magenta, it's I know you're talking about the real technical detail here. So no, obviously, if you got GPS updating, then there shouldn't be any risk of a map shift. However, as a good kind of pilot, how do you call it? Pilot habit. Let's call it habit. You should enter that. In that case, you don't forget it if you don't have GPS primary. Yeah. Well, we talked about it, Bruno. The estimated fuel on board it'll get better as we get airborne. Yeah, don't forget it. Don't worry about that. Cool. Status. What's status saying? Catch 2 in-up systems. That's interesting. That's interesting. Now, normally I would call maintenance to have the logs checked. Why at the moment? Because alignment is finished. I don't see any other issues. I don't know why Catch 2 would be, it's a bug. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Cool. Let's start the APU, obviously. Faster seatbelts, APU starting. And you can see the aircraft is loaded. Love that heat blur. That's really cool. Okay, so where were we? That's all done. That's fine. APU bleed. External power can go off, obviously. Now we can get rid of the ground power. Parking brake is on, so let's get rid of the... No, we are on live. We're on VATSIM. Yeah, we are on VATSIM. So we're still boarding, aren't we? I think so. Yeah, 9 more passengers to go. Cool. That means, though, we can go through the briefing. So, we are departing 27 left. Intersection, maybe November Bravo 3. We're climbing via the Compton 3 Golf departure up to 6,000 feet. And the sector on departure is 2,100 feet. Extra fuel, according to the flight plan, our extra fuel is about 600 kilograms. Yeah. Taxi out. So, hotspots. It's not really a big deal. We're not crossing any runways. The big deal normally is
Welcome aboard the Captain
the Bravo or Alpha taxi line, and then getting the correct line of position. That's really, really important. Hey, Motozuba! Hey, Motozuba! Thank you so much.
One of my faff humans. Love you, buddy. Less than 3.
I love you too. Thank you so much. Thank you for the 17 months. Big round of applause. I hope you're doing well, Motozuba. No, so unfortunately, real deal, the ask bot is not fixed yet. Just ask a question. If you put exclamation mark ask, and I'll see the question here on the chat. Or actually, you know what you could do is go at black box here. So just ping me directly in chat so that I can see the highlight. Cool. So we are then departing 27 left. We have a shift 400 meters if we depart out of November 3. Stop margin is not critical. In case of engine failure, proceeding straight out runway track if needed, 25 miles. Acceleration is 1600 once the engine is secured. We'll continue to climb to 3,000 feet, passing 2,100. We'll accept radar vectors in a southern downwind, and we'll go for runway 27 right. Icebird, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I enjoyed making those files. No, so really, so Michael, that's a good question. But the APU is not taken into account regarding thrust. I think regarding the complete amount of thrust being produced by the engines, I don't think the APU has any significance in that. Hey, Green Dot Foxtrot, hello to you. What do you think of the FENIX after the latest update and hotfix? Well, I haven't been able to fly it for too much, but I just did a pattern in Shannon, and I haven't found any bigger issues apart from after touchdown or the aircraft being on the ground and having more friction than it's supposed to have. Hand flying wise, I don't know. I don't really think there's any bigger issues, at least not for me. But having said that, I've jinxed it, and I guess now we're going to see a complete failure. But who knows? Big shout out, guys. If you don't know Motosuva, make sure check out his channel here on Twitch, and maybe one of my mods can give Motosuva please a shout out. Lovely gentleman, make sure to check out his channel. Yes, so if you go to MAN, so if you go to, hold on, FENIX Sim, so if you go here, MAN, and log in, so after login, you should see your purchase, and under purchase there should be a download link to your installation file. Alrighty, we've got a clearance, everything's set, we've got everything boarded, so let's have a look. All doors, no, that's not still open. Well, we can close that though. So let's go fuel pumps on. Let's put that on, maybe that triggers the door to be closed. Let's do it that way then. So 18.5. Oh wait.
Right on Alpha, stand 511.
Right Alpha, stand 511. Red 63 Tango, thanks for having a good evening.
Shamrock 270, contact director please 119.725.
119.725 to director Shamrock 270, thanks, bye bye.
Shamrock 723, stand 218, ready for push and start. Shamrock 723, push and start is approved, face south. Push and start approved, facing south, Shamrock 723.
So let's get the latest ATIS, because you do want to have the latest ATIS, aircraft type.
Shamrock 9 Kilo November, request taxi.
And the clearance, so comp to 3 Golf.
Shamrock 9 Kilo November, taxi right on link 51, left on Alpha to hold at Lehman.
Link 51 Alpha,
And the QNH obviously.
9 Kilo November.
And Delta. Delta information, QNH is 1015 actually, so
Steve at
you see,
924 from November Bravo 3, clear takeoff runway 27 left.
that's why we calculate
220 degrees
the
9 knots.
performance for that instance. So we already have 1014 actually calculated, so it can drop a bit more if needed. That's fine.
Speedbird 924.
Now, do I dare to
Shamrock 93 X-ray, request taxi.
Shamrock
to
93
use
X-ray
GSX
just away to
because-
the company A320. They're just going to be taxiing ahead of you. And then it's left link 31, left Alpha, hold Lehman.
because of that pushback
Give way to the company
planning.
and then link
Or
31,
maybe
left
they are
Alpha,
flying
and
along
hold low
to Shannon, who
Shamrock
knows?
93.
Just a guess. Bentao, good afternoon or good evening from Shamrock 385, stand 224, A320 information Delta requesting push and start please.
Shamrock 385, after the 2 company aircraft are both taxied away, push and start from stand 224 is approved.
Once clear of both Shamrock aircraft behind us, stand 224, push and start is approved, thank you.
Shamrock 381 requesting pushback and start after the Shamrock 38 Whiskey.
Shamrock 381, push and start is approved, face the south.
Oh, I just wanted to get my push and start clearance after the Shamrock 38 Whiskey has pushback. He will request pushback soon, I hope.
I hope so too. The issue will be that 723 will be directly behind him, so if you want to go now, you can push.
I'll wait. Shamrock 381.
And Shamrock 385, any wishes on the direction of push?
Facing east, please.
Facing east, thank you.
Steward 524, continue taxi right Echo, left Alpha, hold Lehman.
Here comes the pushback truck. Right, we haven't even done the cockpit preparation checklist yet, have
So is
we?
that
So
right
gear pins
on
covers removed,
Echo,
fuel quantity.
And then hold Lehman.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, right Echo, left Alpha, to hold Lehman.
How do I get that aircraft
Say
to
Echo,
go
left
here?
Alpha,
Guys,
hold
how do I
Lehman.
do that?
Pittsburgh 524.
Which keys are they?
Shamrock 9 Kilo November via November
So normally I
Bravo
click
3,
with the
line
mouse
up, runway
there.
27 right.
How can I do that?
November Bravo 3, line up 27 right, Shamrock 9 Kilo November.
Numlock 1 and 3.
Hamilton 1477 taxi straight ahead,
Left
hold
shift
Echo
arrow.
1.
Ah, there we go. Left shift error. Fantastic. Okay, so how do I...
1477, there's an EQNH 1015.
Thank you much for that.
101.
How do I then scroll left and right?
And Shamrock 38 Whiskey, we're ready for start to 217.
Ah, fantastic, guys. Thank you so much. You guys rock.
After the company taxis away, just call me back.
You guys rock.
Shamrock 9 Kilo November, the surface winds 220
So let me just
9
make that a
knots,
bit
runway
louder.
27 left, clear for takeoff.
There we go. So,
Clear takeoff, 27 left, Shamrock 9 Kilo November. Speed at 924, contact director please, 119.725.
so come on.
Going to director 119.725, speedbird 924.
WestJet 59, I'm sorry I didn't contact you, my thing didn't want to really start up, that's why I went
How do I
Sorry.
enter?
WestJet 59, no problem at all, we know they all can play up sometimes. Are you ready to taxi?
No, not just yet, but we'll be very soon, WestJet 59.
No problem at all, let me know when you get
I have pressed enter.
Go, brake, Shamrock 93
Come on.
X-ray, behind the departing company traffic
You
via
can enter,
November,
yeah. Done
Bravo
that as
3,
well.
line up to 7 left behind.
Oh, come on, please, GSX.
Line up, November Bravo 3 behind company traffic, Shamrock 93 actually.
Sorry, station calling you barely readable, your readability 3. Alpha 1477, continue taxi, second left, Alpha
Oh,
hold at the
man,
moment.
come on.
Second left Alpha,
All right.
Shamrock 723,
Oh.
we're ready for taxi, able November Bravo 3. Shamrock 723, taxi,
Layout's completely
taxi
busted.
left Bravo hold Locky initially please. Left Bravo hold Locky, Shamrock 723.
Good evening, London Tower. This is Tom 320. I'm at ramp 246.
Right, sorry guys, I need to do that with the
Dublin 737
with the standard Phoenix then.
Tom Jet 320, Heathrow, good evening, cleared to Dublin. It's the Compton 3 Golf departure. Your squawk 4451, information Delta.
We'll do it the old way.
015.
So, cock preparation checklist, fuel quantity, we've got 5,340 kilograms
information Delta.
balanced. Seat belts on, ADIOS,
and my squawk, please.
Your departure is
NAF,
Charlie Papa Tango 3 Golf.
and Barrel Ref, Kinich
And,
1015,
your squawk is
set.
4451.
Before start checklist, park and brake off, takeoff
Charlie
speeds.
Papa Tango
Oh, hold on.
3
we'll go.
Charlie Golf departure, and my squawk is 4451.
V1 is 143 VR 143 V2 145 Lex
Tom Jet
68.
320, correct.
Windows closed. Beacon
Shamrock
on.
38 Whiskey,
Before
push
start
and
checklist
start is
completed.
approved from
Clear to start
217.
the engines. Engine 2 start. How is the performance at Heathrow? Well, I'm locking
9
to
November, contact Heathrow director 119.725.
30 FPS, so it's all right. It's not too bad.
Shamrock 9 Kilo November, good night. Shamrock 9 3 X-ray surface wind is 220
Oh, look at that,
9 knots,
pushback.
runway 27 left, clear takeoff.
Pro pushback right there.
Shamrock 9 3 actually.
Speed at
Oh,
524.
Coxillo.
Continue actually by November Bravo 3 and line up to 7 left. Line up to
Yeah,
7
not bad, not
left.
bad.
Speedbird 524.
So we're just waiting for the avail there. Well, it's actually closed with the start valve. So engine 1 start.
Shamrock 723, continue taxi on Bravo, then right link to 9 to hold November Bravo 2 Whiskey. Continue Bravo, link to 9, hold November Bravo 2 Whiskey.
Yeah, I don't know
Shamrock
why
723.
I can't get GSX to push me back. I don't know why. It's
Tom
weird.
320, do you mind just putting the departure in the chat, please?
Oh, look at that.
Thank you.
Oh, we got Speedbird departing. Mark will be happy.
Speedbird 524, the surface wind is 220 degrees 9 knots, runway 27 left, cleared for takeoff.
Oh, yes.
Clear for takeoff, 27
This
left.
is for Mark.
524.
And anybody else that loves British Airways. Whoosh. Here we go.
Conjet 320 ready for pushing start.
Tom Jet 320 snap 426.
Auto thrust always.
Sorry, correction 246. Push
Lord.
started approach. Face south.
Pushing start approach.
There he
Face
goes.
south. Conjet 320.
Bitteschön, Mark. My pleasure. Right, so engine started. Let's do the after start flows.
27 Juliet Romeo, go ahead.
The 27 Juliet Romeo, making south, clear 2215.
So that's normal. There's currently a report on Reddit
27 Juliet Romeo,
of a
cleared
KLM
Golf
flight
to Golf departure,
conducted in the cabin meeting.
sorry, correction,
Oh, really?
3421.
Wow, chain reactor. Can we push that to the cruise flight? We'll talk about that chain reactor.
So 27 Juliet Romeo, correct.
It's an interesting topic. It definitely is.
6 request is 42 Amsterdam.
So, flight controls, full up.
Ryan,
Neutral.
2606,
Full
cleared
left.
Amsterdam, Brookman Park,
Full
7
right,
Golf
neutral,
departure,
rudder, full left,
2153.
rudder, full right, neutral. After start checklist, anti-ice is off, ECAM status is checked, pitch trim is
Air Malta 1477 hold.
31.4%, and rudder trim neutral. That's the after start checklist completed.
Ryanair 2606, apologies, do you get your clearance? Nothing heard. Speedbird 524, contact director, please 119.725.
So for taxiing, you want to have the taxi chart up because you've got some holding
Appreciate
points.
the patience, thank you, bye-bye. And Shamrock 90 Extra, I don't think I did, but if I didn't...
So for example, you could say via Bravo, hold Locky.
1975, Shamrock 90 actually, good night.
He could give us a link, Alpha, Shamrock 385, request taxi.
Shamrock 385, taxi, can you make it right on link, actually, just whichever right you can, then left Alpha, hold Lowman.
Okay, next link to the right, then left Alpha and hold Lowman, Shamrock 385. So hold here.
Shamrock 723, via November Bravo 2
Good,
Whiskey,
so
line
left
up,
side clear, right side
left.
clear.
Line up 27 left, via November Bravo
Goes
2
off,
Whiskey,
and
Shamrock
let's go.
723.
Yeah, we actually make that one. That's fine.
1 on timer.
2991,
Yeah,
Heathrow,
chain reactor, fantastic.
low, runway 27 right, you
that's
cleared
the
to land,
best.
the wind 220 at 9.
Clear to land, runway 27 right, Speedbird 291.
Right, no traffic from the right. Brake check. Brakes are working.
Malta 1477, taxi, hold, November Bravo 2 Whiskey.
I'm sorry about that, I overshot.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Oh, we got flap 2. There we go. Clever system, isn't it? Telling us that we haven't selected the flap setting according to the MCDU setting. That's a bit laggy here from that view. Right, let's try again.
Shamrock
There we
38 Whiskey, taxi,
So taxi
left
checklist.
Bravo, hold Locky.
Left Bravo, we're holding.
Flight controls checked. Flap setting. Config 2. Normally I will see that here. Right, config 2. Radar which is system on.
723, surface wind
Auto.
is 220 degrees at 9 knots.
And engine mode selector. Normal.
Take off 27 left, Shamrock
There
723.
it is. And ECAM takeoff. No blue. Taxi checklist completed. Now, Locky, you look out for a red sign. Or Lowman, sorry. Our stop bar was Lowman. So you look for the red sign there. It gives you that stop point. I'm actually surprised because when I checked the scenery, I actually got stable more than 30 FPS.
147 via November Bravo 2 Whiskey, line up, runway 27 left.
So I'm wondering if it has to do with this, with the aircraft on VATSIM here, that the FPS is dropping a bit.
278 Romeo found 514 ready for push.
Yeah, Michael, that's a good thing. So using the tablet for the pushback is actually a good idea. Yes, Enshai, I think so too.
Ryanair
Yeah.
2606, full ready.
So from Lomond,
Viva 27 Juliet Romeo, just check squawk
we
3421.
got November Bravo 3 as the next taxiway.
So 27 Juliet Romeo, just check your squawk. Ah, lovely, very good. Push and start sprue face to the south.
So we're going to see a stop line right there. That's where we're going to hold.
Shamrock 723, contact Director 119.725. Director 119.725, thanks very much, Shamrock 723.
Tom Jet 320, ready to taxi.
Tom Jet 320, taxi, straight
I
ahead.
just
holding
heard
one.
the frequency 19725. I'll pre-dial
Straight,
that.
straight ahead to holding 1.
There we go.
Tom 320.
Shamrock 385, taxi hold November Bravo 3.
Taxi hold November Bravo 3, Shamrock 385.
Shamrock 38, whiskey taxi, next right, hold November Bravo 3.
Next right, hold November Bravo 3, Shamrock 3 whiskey.
So you're going to be careful.
Malta 1477.
There's two holding lines. So one is November 3,
9 knots,
that's a
runway
Cat
27 left,
2-3 holding point. If he clears you, hold November Bravo 3, you taxi forwards to the Cat 1 holding point. So you've got to be really careful listening on what clearance you get here in Heathrow. And Kotas, so good night. How are you doing?
Shamrock 385, 5 November Bravo 3, line up, 27 left.
Why November Bravo 3, line up, wait, 27 left, Shamrock 385.
Tom Jet 320,
Actually, I'm going to put all the lights on
taxi
already
left
because
on Bravo right, link 29, and hold November
when we do
Bravo
get the clearance, I don't want to fumble about on the top part here. So, lineup checklist. Cabin crew prepare for departure. Take off runway 27 left, November Bravo 3 as calculated. TCAS, TARA, and the packs are on. That's the lineup checklist completed. Approach sector is clear.
1477, contact Heathrow Director, please, 119.725.
Doing very well, thanks for asking. I'm doing very well. Okay, so quick recap straight out.
Was it November Bravo 2 whiskey? Hold on.
Hey, firm.
To 7 miles.
Super 291, holding
Runway
short of
256.
Super 2991, thank you, taxi
268
right,
bearing
Alpha,
to
left,
Woodley,
Charlie, stand
and so on.
546.
Taxi right, Alpha left, Charlie stand for 546, Super 291.
Shamrock 385, surface wind is 220 degrees 9 knots, runway 27 left, clear for takeoff.
Runway 27 left, clear takeoff, Shamrock 385. Alrighty, let's go. Chrono is running, takeoff. Bit of stick input. Manflex 68, SAS runway, auto thrust, blue.
Shamrock 38, whiskey behind the departed company traffic, behind the November Bravo 3 line up,
Thrust
27
set.
left behind.
Behind company traffic, departures will line up on 27 left behind.
Oh, there's a car! I wouldn't have to abort.
Malta, not sure I have, but if I haven't,
Oh
direct
no,
please,
right, one not is checked. LOL.
Tom 320, holding point November Bravo 2 whiskey.
Tom Jet 320, thank you. By November Bravo 2 whiskey, line up, 27 left to number 2 to depart, there's an intersection departure ahead of you.
Pause the climb. Gear up. Wow, what I have to say, guys, what I do notice after liftoff, it's actually really twitchy in the roll axis.
Give it 270 Juliet Romeo taxi out for the hold Loman.
That is a bit weird. It's a lot twitchier. Ah, there you go. Beautiful. Right, let's go. First climb, up blue.
Fortification 40 Alpha on FENIX to the right.
Seabird 43
Yeah, it's weird. I
Hotel
noticed that now
Alpha
as well.
Heathrow.
Flaps
Hello,
one.
continue
Speed
approach
check,
number
flaps
2,
one.
the wind's 220 degrees 9 knots.
Approach number 2, just on the right, 40 again.
JetBlue 7, how are you with me?
We're on final.
JetBlue 7, thank you. Surface wind's 220 degrees 9
Wow,
knots.
wind has
from
picked up
right to
33
left.
knots now. Look at that.
Right, JetBlue 7.
Autopilot one. Just dialing down the sim sounds a bit so I can hear.
Shamrock 385, contact Heathrow director 119.75.
119725. Thanks a lot. Bye bye, Shamrock 385.
Speed is 180 knots.
Yes, I'm reducing to 180 knots, 417.
So, flap 0, speed is check, flap 0. Now, when you are
Moto 1477,
calling in,
nothing further right now, monitoring the com 120, mate, goodbye.
when you call in on London direct or London departure, they want you to not only tell you the passing altitude and the cleared altitude, also
turn left heading 310
tell them
degrees,
your
when established
departure route.
localizer, descend to the glide, runway 27 right.
So today will be Compton 3 Golf.
Turn left heading 310 when established, localized then with the glider, speed for 40 limit.
London Control, good afternoon. Shamrock 385, 4,500, climb 6,000, Compton 3 Golf.
Shamrock 385, you're going to hello to you, climb now, flight level 130.
Climb now, flight level 130, Shamrock 385. So it said climb now,
659, speed now
so I
160
do
knots, maintain
pull
till
open
40.
climb. That way it will cancel out these restrictions. There we go.
Seabird 41 Hotel Alpha, turn right heading 180 degrees.
Turn right, turning right, heading 180.
The hardware, you mean the throttles? The throttles, I can give you that. There we go, there's a link for the throttles. Hey autopilot, how you doing?
Seabird 41 Hotel Alpha, continue that right turn heading 240 degrees. When established localizer, descend to the glide, runway 27
Alright, need to
right.
put set standards.
Second 441 Hotel Alpha.
41 Hotel Alpha, continue that right turn heading 240 degrees. When established localizer, descend to
Standard,
the glide, runway
cross check,
27 right.
passing, 778 now, check.
Turn heading 240 when established, descend with the glide. 127 right.
Hey Sim Caesar!
Seabird 40 Lima, speed now 160 knots, maintain till 40 ME.
Thank you so much for the raid.
Speed for 40 limit.
We're just departed
659, contact
out
tower,
of London
maintain
Heathrow.
5, goodbye.
And we're on our way to Shannon. New scenery from MK Studios. Later, I'm looking forward to flying from Albuquerque to
Shamrock 385, nothing further right now, monitoring the com 120, mate, goodbye.
22.8. Thanks a lot. Bye bye, Shamrock 385. Looking forward to flying the PNG 737-800 with a very cool livery from Albuquerque to Los Angeles. So of course, we've seen it yesterday. Lots of people, lots of streamers showcasing it yesterday with Iniscene's new Los Angeles scenery. Looking forward to that. What do you think about the landing physics? Is it realistic or previous version of that? So the weird thing is, so they fix one thing and then it breaks something else. So right now, I've done a couple of takeoffs and the roll axis is just way too sensitive.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box.
I always over control,
Could new subscribers
which is kind of annoying. Landing, I've not really had the roll issue on landing, but people have reported it, so woohoo. Woohoo. Thanks so much, Sim Caesar, for the 45 months, Sim Caesar. Thank you so much, my dear friend. Give a round of applause for that. At start. Right, so we are currently on Unicom, just checking the TCAS. No traffic, so let's continue climb 340. Here we go. So we got now. Actually, no. Let's go again. Open climb out blue, 340. Well, the thing is, for Flight Sim Dad, I wonder if the FS Labs will have the same issues that the FENIX has. You just have to realize that Ooh, that looks a bit bumpy to me, if you ask me. That could be... Right, what we could do is climb a little bit faster. I mean, with slower speed. Seatbelts are still on, so that's no problem with the pitch. Trying to get over that... that there. Those look beautiful. No, because I had managed climb. Yeah, so I had managed climb, and it was 6,000 restriction. I don't know, yeah. Yeah, why it went into magenta, that's weird, yeah. Right. So up climb, let's try to get over those clouds. And man, they do look pretty, don't they? Look at that. So it is a shame. It's a shame that you know, each update fixes something and breaks something else. And right now, I have to say that there's two issues I see at the moment: the roll issue on departure, and another thing was as you touch down. And I've talked about it. I'm not sure how many people were here at the beginning of the stream. Let me see if I can connect my iPad again to show you guys on the iPad what I mean. So let's have a look. Those clouds. There we go. I'll show you that once we're past the clouds, guys, because I would enjoy the clouds here. They look so beautiful. So normally what I would do, I would mess about with the speed and try to get it exactly to skim the top of the clouds there. Hey Roy, and how you doing? Drawing inbound? No, well, not drawing today. I've already prepared something prior. Looks like we're not quite making it. Probably going to hit it. Right, top part there. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, Flightsim Dad, I agree on the fact that the FS Labs is a more... That was really good. A more grown-up product, but... the bigger issue really is Microsoft Flight Sim as a base model, right? So there's still so many things that are wrong with the base simulation there. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So manage speed, and let's go signs off here. So I was talking about the way that when the aircraft touches down, that you are getting a weird behavior. And so normally when you are tracking the runway center line with a crab angle, so normally obviously you would try to decrease that crab angle before touchdown to reduce the stress on the landing gear, right? That's the main motivation, but also to have the aircraft, you know, not pull off the center line. What happens in Microsoft Flight Sim is you are flying along very nicely, and the moment you touch down, the aircraft or the simulator says, oh, you're on the ground. Now you have 100% friction, and the aircraft goes and goes exactly where the aircraft is pointing. That does not happen in real life. In real life, the wheels of the aircraft will have a tendency to obviously pull the nose towards the track of the aircraft. So there's a natural tendency for the aircraft to align itself with the runway, although not completely. And if it's a wet runway, slippery runway, it will actually continue in that sideward crab. So you have to slowly take out that crab with the rudder pedals. Now here in Microsoft Flight Sim, obviously it's just a wrong simulation. There's no inertia really, and so what happens, you touch down, the aircraft goes left. Right, it shouldn't happen. But then of course, if the people don't take out that crab angle, they run into that snake motion, right, after touchdown. Exactly, inertia. What is that? Completely not important for flight simming, right? Or for aviation. Yeah, so that's the issue at the moment we have here in Microsoft Flight Sim with Crosswind. So the idea is, yes, to help the simulation by decrabbing the aircraft as far as you can, and then that way, just having a little bit less of that that tendency for the aircraft to swerve left and right. That's the idea. But that's just how it is, right? So. Well, yeah, I mean, people are reporting they have a feeling that the aircraft feels a little bit like, yeah, like a light aircraft, not really like a big jet. So oh wow, why is it getting stuttery here? I guess because of cloud simulation, right? Yeah, I'm also on 4K monitor right now, so I've seen some more kind of memes come out. Imagine if you want to upgrade to the i13-900KS that can boost up to 6 gigahertz, and then also have the 4000, so let's say 4090 graphics card. I mean, how are you going to get rid of all that heat that setup produces? I mean, we're talking about literally 1,000 watts under full load. Absolutely crazy stuff. So for me right now, oh yeah, it definitely keeps you warm, no doubt. Now for me though, I will not go and buy a 4000 series cards for now. I think maybe I upgrade a 3000 series card, but no, I just do not want to upgrade everything again. And I think, like Bruno said correctly, it's more CPU limited for me anyways, compared to GPU limited. And Josh is saying you're happy with 1390 for now. There we go. Yeah, yeah, Alpha. Yeah, let's do make it like a private, like a heat pipe to next door. Lol. No, but no joke. Imagine having a 1000 watt heater in your room, i.e. your PC. No joke. It's going to heat up. If you have a small room, it'll get like, sauna temperatures. Yeah, Oyster, but the thing is, Oyster, that heat has to go somewhere. So it's going to vent off into your room, right? So imagine having to sit in wintertime with an open window to cool your room because the PC's inside of it. Yeah, exactly right. Sim Caesar, I mean, it's getting ridiculous. It really is. Robin, no, I don't have head tracking at the moment, no. I could put it on, but at the moment I don't know. Yeah, the clouds look fantastic. I'm just worried right now. I do have a performance drop. I'm using ultra settings for the clouds and to make them look nice. And then obviously now with the 4K monitor, the 4K setup, yeah, it's a bit laggy up here. Yeah, but I don't want to switch to 2K right now, to be honest. It's all right. It's not too bad. It's not as if it's a slideshow or anything like that. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing, autopilot. The question now is, yeah, with that electricity being so expensive, yeah, that's a lot of electricity going through the PC. Oh, Iceberg, I hope not. I hope not. I hope that's not happening on my side. Alrighty, where are we? We are currently en route. Yeah, exactly. So, so chain reactor, you wrote that a KLM flight had an issue with the heating of the cabin, and it went down what 10 degrees. Okay, so let me ask you or anybody else here in chat, what's the issue with having a cabin at 10 degrees Celsius? Can we pretend it's a BA flight? Why, it wasn't Embraer? And Flight Sim Daddy just bought the 3080. You happy? That's cool. Yeah, it's cold. True. Okay, yeah, it is cold. At 10 degrees Celsius. Now, this is the thing. Is it? So the question is it necessary to divert? Water condensation. Yeah. Although at Browns, hey, how are you doing? Browns, I would disagree with that because en route, so while you're flying, the humidity on board is extremely dry. I don't think there would be much of an issue with water condensation. Goofy, when they're going to fix weather radar, I have no idea. Apparently they say it's fixed. It's not. Brad, yeah, your beer will be colder when served. There we go. That's something positive. Okay, let's roll it up from the top then. Okay, is it something safety related? If you have 10 degrees in the cabin, is it safety related? Will anybody die immediately within the next hour? So one question is, how long is the flight? And maybe Chain Reactor can quote on that. How long was the flight? Or how long was it planned to be? Yeah, condensation would be more pressure issue. Yeah. Oh, well, Toronto, that's a long flight, yeah. When did it start then, Chain Reactor? When did the issue start? Right from the beginning or during the flight? That would also be an interesting question to answer. Okay, no info on that yet. Okay, so let's pretend it happens an hour after takeoff. So an hour after takeoff, the temperature drops to 10 degrees Celsius. What would you do, guys? Would you divert? Would you continue? Would you fly back to Amsterdam? What would you do in that case? Tough question, isn't it? I love these questions. Because that's the thing. It's one of those things where you get an issue, but it's not really immediately life-threatening or, you know, dangerous. So you have to kind of, you know, go through your decision-making model. All right, provide blankets and continue. Okay, that's one way of doing it. But chain reactor, did they continue then to Toronto? Is that outcome reported? Wow, those clouds again. Look at that. Do you get some low alerts about low temperatures? No. No. Okay, they continue. According to flight radar, they continued all the way to Toronto. Okay. Rip Van Winkle, well, let me ask you, what's the importance then if to enter the trouble pause? Why is that important? But that's an honest answer. I respect that. Rip Van Winkle, I respect that. So the reason why the trouble pause info in the MCDU is important is because of the engine performance. So as you climb up, the temperature of the atmosphere drops and the pressure drops, right? So part of the negative effect of the engine power or losing power because of or losing efficiency because of the reduction in the pressure of the air is offset by the temperature dropping. Not all of it, but part of it. So what happens when you reach the trouble pause layer? Well, from that point onwards, the outside temperature remains constant in theory, right? So from that point onward, the pressure still drops and the temperature, however, doesn't go any colder. So you have more negative effect on the engine performance as you climb up. So your optimum altitude is affected by the trouble pause layer. Now, most of the time, the trouble pause layer is round about 34,000 feet, 35,000 feet normally, right? Today, for example, it is at 40,000 feet, 42,000 feet. We don't get that high. So it really isn't any point in entering that data into the MCDU, and that's why a lot of pilots won't do it. I do insert it if, for example, that value is at below 30,000 feet. Right, then I do start enter that value into the MCDU in real life, because then it does affect the optimum altitude and the engine performance calculations. All right, so regarding the issue 10 degrees Celsius, so I think we can agree it's not a safety issue, is it? So if you hand out blankets and people can bear the 10 degrees Celsius and they can put on their coats and jumpers and so on, it's not really a safety issue. Yeah, Rip and Winkle, yeah, pleasure. So, no, I don't think it would have a issue in anything mechanically. I mean, we're talking about outside temperatures being minus 60 degrees almost, so the aircraft can definitely handle it. However, I do see an issue with people's mood on board. So let's say, you know, some people start complaining and others join in, and you kind of get that group gathering and that group momentum going. It could actually potentially tilt to a point where you have unruly passengers demanding to land because they can't bear the cold. Right, Senshai, for example, said he doesn't like cold. Yeah, so for me personally, from the information that I have right now, it would be more a matter regarding passenger comfort and the mood on board. Now, as you know, if he would argue, well, let's do a poll. So let's do oh, fantastic, MAN. I'm glad you got that sorted. So let's do a poll. Let's see how many people want to continue, and let's see how many people want to divert to Keflavik, for example, right? So, well, it's not going to happen, right? You're going to have 40% saying I want to divert, 60% saying want to continue, right? Well, it doesn't really help, because if those 40% suddenly, you know, get really mad and get aggressive, it doesn't really help you, does it? So yeah, it's all a matter of how the cabin crew can, well, keep up the mood in the flight deck, or in the cabin. And so I understand their decision to continue. It's difficult for us outside of what actually happened, or outside of the aircraft, you know, to sit at a table and then discuss whether or not that was a good decision or not. I don't want to. I don't want to, you know, kind of criticize that or, you know, comment too deeply on that because I was not on board that aircraft, so I don't know what the mood was. Yeah, it was their decision to continue, and I respect that. And well, there we have it. Free drinks. Cool. We've actually got ATIS, it seems. Although I don't see a tower controller. Although, hang on, let me see. We've got ATIS, but we've got area controller. So 31150. Can pre-dial that in here. Yeah, exactly. So Alpha, that's a good point as well. We don't know where that happened. So maybe, yeah, maybe it happened past the equal time point. Exactly. So that's the thing. We don't know exactly when it happened. Why is that not syncing up now? Hold on. Where's my... Let's try that again. Refresh. There we go. Now we've got the infos on the orbit. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, difficult for us to really make a judgment on that, right? Here's the ATIS. Shannon, information Bravo, 150 at 9. Light rain, few 800 broken, 3,840 degrees. And QNH is 1003. Let's enter that data. And that was 150, was it 6? No, 9 actually. 9. Good. Transition level is at 6.5. Runway 24 is news ILS approach. Yeah, but interesting, right? I mean, these things, these issues can arise, and yeah, so for me as a captain, I if I'm honest, if I have a technical situation that I practice in the simulator, you know, no matter what, I think decisions are pretty much laid out, and so the question is more, where do we land with that failure or that issue? But the more challenging issues arise when you have exactly those things happen that you don't practice and that are not black and white, right? So yeah, you've got to improvise, you've got to, you know, go with the flow and see how, you know, how you deal with that. Well, that's an interesting case, yeah. Oh, there we go. 31150. And let's see if they got CPDLC. They don't. Shannon, good afternoon from Shamrock 385, flight level 340.
Shamrock 385, Shannon, good evening, identified. Cleared Tipper 2 Delta arrival. Landing runway 24. Report when ready for descent.
Tipper 2 Delta arrival, runway 24. I call you Shamrock 385. Oh, tail west. Oh, okay. I can already see my head smoking from that one. Okay, thanks, tail west. I love it. Yeah, it's MK Studios. Yeah, they have released it. Yeah. Hang on. Alpha, what do you mean? Hang on, can I do that? Is that implemented? Well, I could pull that data directly into the... Huh? What do you mean?
Shamrock 270, descend altitude 4,000 feet, the QNH 1003.
Down to 4,000 feet, QNH 1003, that's for Shamrock 27 Zulu.
So guys, that's Shannon Airport, and it has a lot of, I think, maintenance hangars, because I remember that on a 737 at least, we used that as a maintenance base.
Control Rhino 120.
So we did some ferry flights in and out.
Right now, 120.
Yeah, C-check hub, something like that, Yoda, right?
Is approved. QNH
Well, they do have a terminal as well. So landing 24, Alpha obviously is the taxi way to go.
562 Papa, surface wind checks 210 degrees, 10 knots, gusting 20 max. Runway 28 left, clear for takeoff.
So here, hang on, between East Apron and hangar
935,
20.
surface wind checks 160 degrees, 6 knots, runway 26 clear to land.
We towed, okay, that's right. Taxiway
Number
Charlie.
1 Tango Sierra, Shannon, are you calling?
So that taxiway Charlie restricted to daylight hours only and wingspan less than 36 meters. Alright, but Alpha should be fine. Don't see any restrictions on the Alpha.
Shannon Control, very good evening. Shamrock 38 Whiskey, we're flight level 340 and we are inbound
No left turn there, that's obvious. So no left turn
Shamrock
this
38
way.
Whiskey, Shannon, good evening. Identified.
No right
Clear
turn
tipper
from
to
Delta
arrival.
2.
Landing runway 24. Report when
Okay,
ready
so
for
there you
descent.
can't turn, that's not allowed. Okay, but so Charlie won't be allowed to be used. Delta 1. Okay, there we go. Delta 1.
Shamrock 45 Whiskey, route direct to Lapmo.
Thank you much, Tail West.
3,000 feet to QNH 1004.
So that's our parking spots on this side. Fantastic. All right, arrival. So we got
320, Shannon on my frequency.
cleared the tipper to Delta. So the tipper to Delta 80 above.
723, we're ready for
G-lock or G-lock at 60 above, and then
Shamrock
Dirac.
723, descend
And
flight
so
level
it's
80.
arrival to Delta to Dirac, then either holding or onto the approach.
320, stop your descent, flight level 150.
So ILS 24. Oh,
Tom Jet 320, you
so
are
Dirac
identified,
and then onto the final.
Cleared for the
And the descent point is
Addons 3
Roswell.
Lima arrival. Landing 28 left.
So that's all fine.
You're cleared to enter control airspace on track
Cool.
to Badge.
There's our descend arrow, and if I enter the progress Echo India November 24, I get the total distance. Now it's not that far, however.
November 1
look at that
Tango
ground
Sierra,
speed.
Shannon, good evening.
So we've got some
radar
good
contact,
headwinds,
route direct to Bliffy.
and so yeah, that sounds legit for this endpoint there. That's fine.
Shamrock 45 Whiskey, from that mode, clear Dallas approach 28 left, report established.
Lol. Okay, that's an interesting one, Tail West. Master switch off.
Shamrock 27 Zulu.
But that means
Disregard.
that means the power control unit of the APU is running for some reason.
Thunder 220, that's fine, but stop your descent, you're still descending. Maintain 150.
Did you pull a circuit breaker in the end to deactivate the control box? Yeah.
Shamrock 562 Papa, identified, climb now, flight level 230.
Right, let's do our
Rhino 923, welcome to
calculations
back
for
to
landing.
26, vacate left and Alpha, standard choice.
Oh, you did a recycle of the master switch. Right, running is red.
27 Zulu, descend
So
altitude.
braking is good. Apply the METAR.
From Dirac, cleared for the
Landing
approach,
weight
full
is
report established.
62. Let's do 62 tons then. Below max landing weight for sure.
AFILS approach to
We'll do a flat full.
report established, Shamrock.
However, if you do auto brake low, auto thrust off, idle reverse, it's about 2,200 meters required landing distance. That's all right. However, let me just check where we want to turn off because I don't want to use more runway than required because all in all it's 3,200 meters. Yeah, so I tell you what, that looks like 2,000 meters to that taxiway Alpha.
Falcon 5, Juliet,
So,
you're leaving my airspace now.
yeah, why not?
Further,
Why not use that and then turn off
bye-bye.
into Alpha?
Helicopter
It didn't work, okay.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Tomjet 320, radar contact, radar control service, continue on track now.
What I find interesting, Tail West, is that it shows rotation of 2%, as if it's windmilling, which is kind of weird, isn't it? Yeah, so I guess with the help of maintenance, yeah, and EGT. So with the help of maintenance,
320, route directed to Lapo.
I don't know if it would be preferable to have a CB pulled on that, if it's possible. Right, so we will set auto brake low, put that on. The minimums is missing.
902 November,
And the
November,
rat
Shannon,
nav.
good evening. You're cleared to carry Pelig 6 Alpha departure. Runway 28 left.
Yeah, let's do
Stop time,
Shannon,
flight level
Sierra Hotel
90.
Alpha.
Squawk 66.
The other day in the Phoenix, I had an autothrust failure and could not get it back no matter what I tried. I just flew manual thrust the whole time. Is there a way to recover and fly? Well, I mean,
Right, November, reback is correct. Call ready, push and start.
unless you have a message or
Tomjet
a clear indication of what
fly heading
failed,
310 degrees.
I don't really see how we can recover that.
Shamrock 270 established. ILS 24 and Shannon.
Shamrock 27 Zulu, thanks. Surface wind checks 170 degrees 7 knots. Runway 24, you clear to land.
Right, let's ask for our descent clearance. Shamrock 385, request descent.
Shamrock 45 Whiskey, thanks. Surface wind checks 210 degrees 10 knots, gusting 20 max. Continue approaching number 1.
Blocked in there.
And last station calling for descent. Call sign again.
Yes, Shamrock 385.
Shamrock 385, you can descend flight level 80.
Descent level 80, Shamrock 385. 80 it is. Let's go manage descent. So descend out blue.
Right now,
80.
120, taxi link 5, Papa 1, hold short, runway 1634.
So Sierra Hotel Alpha in there. Cool.
Link 5, Papa 1.
Do we have a beacon? Hold on. Let's chart out. Yeah, we do. So we've got Oscar Lima. Just out of backup reasons.
Blue Max 38 Golf,
Oscar Lima,
Shannon, good
put that in
evening.
there.
Identified, cleared
339.
Diggin 2 Delta arrival. Landing runway 24.
So I'm going to put this
Report
to
when
ADF.
ready for descent.
Perfect, already showing. Cool. So, approach briefing, arrival. We're flying the Tipo to Delta arrival to Dirac.
Tomjet 320, descend flight
And then
level
on to the
90.
ILS, 24. Let's approach, minimum is 220, that's missing. 220 minimum. I can hear my cat go meow. So 220 minimum is set. Go around goes as follows. Straight ahead. November 012. Climbing 4,000, then right turn, max to 20 knots, back to the VR. To initiate another approach or as directed. What?
Ryanair 6678, you calling for clearance?
Right, let's check that.
Ryanair 6678,
Yeah, he's
good evening, you're cleared to Dublin,
he's loud.
Kerry 3 Bravo departure, runway 26. Initial altitude 4,000
So
feet.
November 012,
664
4,000, 220 knots maximum to Sierra Hotel Alpha. All good. So correctly programmed. Extra fuel right now, we have 10 minutes, 400 kilograms.
Ryanair 6678, read back
For a short
correct.
pattern, that
Already
should be
pushing
alright.
start.
We'll do
Shamrock 45 Whiskey Whiskey,
ILS,
surface wind checks 210
flight director
degrees 10 knots,
approach.
gusting 20 max,
Stop
runway 28 left, you are cleared to
margin
land.
is about 1,000 meters. Auto brake low, full flaps. And we vacate left via Charlie, no hotspots. Specials.
120,
Hey,
enter left,
Kazapaya.
backtrack, runway 34, then hold short 28
Right,
left.
thrust idle.
Backtrack.
Tiger, I
34
have no
and hold
time.
28 left.
I have no time at the moment. I can't leave. I'm sorry.
Tom Jet, are you able to just give me headings from now on because my FMC
Meow, meow.
is not letting me enter anything at the moment?
Yeah, I've been giving you headings already. Fly heading 300.
I know.
Yeah, it's got 300 on my
Right.
heading, but
So,
the heading's, 310.
threats, guys. Any threats you see?
310 on the number thing, which should send me that way.
Okay, thanks. Shamrock 562, Papa, you're short leaving airspace now, nothing further. 1 Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye-bye.
Yeah, cat might be a threat. Yeah, that's absolutely true. That cat can be a threat, for sure. So
good evening, Ryanair 5776.
So for you that haven't been to Shannon in real life or before, yeah, new airport,
Shannon, good evening.
that can be a bit of a threat.
Rotav 2 Alpha
weather
departure.
isn't really a
Runway
threat.
28 left. Stop time, flight level 90, squawk 6603.
So no, I don't see other threats than that. No high terrain. Actually, the MSA, I didn't brief the MSA yet. So the MSA is 3,400 in the east, the rest is 3,000 around the
Ryanair
Lyon.
5776, readback is correct. Call ready, push and start.
Right, so the procedure itself, just to recap that, 3,000 at Rosrow, that's 9.4 from the ILSD.
1005.
Then we have a 3-degree standard profile down, 237 inbound track, minimum is 220.
320,
Brief the
descend
missed
flight
approach.
level 70.
Conjet 320.
Right, caution, turbulence and wind shear may be experienced on approach when wind
Ryanair 120, behind the arriving Aer Lingus Airbus A320.
direction lies in the
runway
sector
28 left,
264,
line up and wait
324, and with speeds more than 15 knots.
Find Aer Lingus, line up and wait.
DNE is
28
required,
left, Ryanair 120.
and approach max 210. Right, so I don't really see a big issue. That's
Conjet
fine.
320, you have
Let's
free speed.
do engine ITIs on. As we go through some clouds
Ryanair
here.
5776 is ready
Temperature
for
-9.
Ryanair 5776, push and start approved to Greece Point Bravo. QNH 1004, face west.
Ryanair 5776 is clear to push for attack release on Bravo QNH 1204 and facing west.
Shamrock 27 Zulu, welcome to Shannon. Vacate left to Alpha, standard
He's
choice.
busy.
Left and Alpha, standard choice. Shamrock. Thanks.
Beautiful. That's a lovely view.
Shamrock 3 at Whiskey, you can stand now, flight level 80. Ryanair 6678, your startup is approved, call for taxi. Ryanair 2 November, your push and start is approved, QNH 1004, face west.
But 4K is a bit much on the system, it seems. So I may need to go back to 2K.
Shamrock 273, descend altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1005.
Is it really? On Sim2 Pro, it's always heading 360. That's weird.
Shamrock 273, descend altitude 4,000 feet.
Was that Shamrock 723 to 4,000 feet? Shamrock 723?
My apologies, Shamrock 723, descend 4,000.
So, currently it's actually moving more towards the upper bracket side, which is interesting.
Tom Jet
That's a new one.
320,
Let me go
turn
that,
right heading
to below.
340 degrees.
Stand right heading 340 degrees. Conjet 320.
So, let's have a look.
Ryanair 120.
Direct, 57
surface wind
miles.
checks, 210 degrees 10
66
knots,
miles along the
20
track.
max, runway 28 left, you are
So
clear
it's still
for takeoff.
calculating with lots of headwind.
Skip takeoff to a left, Ryanair 120.
Here's our speed.
Tom Jet 320, descend
Speed crossover
altitude
point there.
3,000 feet. QNH 1004.
3,000 feet, QNH 1004, Conjet.
Shamrock 385, speed 270 knots or greater.
270 knots or greater, Shamrock 385. So
Shamrock 38 Whiskey,
So
speed
let's
on
go
conversion 250
selected
knots.
speed 280. So we got now the blue speed bug there, showing us it's selected, not managed.
That's two stations at once. Shamrock 5 Echo Delta, clearance 5 PDC.
But FlightSim that, isn't that the same result regarding how the display looks?
Shannon, Ryanair 2088.
Ryanair 2088 passage. Up.
2088, we're on ground at Cork. We have information. Sounds like Delta on board 10.
I mean, it's crazy crisp on my. I mean, the 4K again. You can,
Ryanair 2088,
I can
you're cleared
read
to Manchester.
each of these letters here.
Pismo 1
Numbers.
Sierra departure,
It's
runway
crazy.
16. Initial
Put the weather
altitude,
radar on. I have.
5,000 feet. Squawk 6612.
Good to Manchester on the December 1 Romeo departure. Chip on Sierra departure. 5,000 feet, the initial climb, and 661 2, Ryanair 2008.
Ryanair 2008, readback is correct. Call ready for push and start. Brake. Tomjet 320. Continue descent altitude 3,000 feet.
Right, let's put the signs on here.
Descending to 3,000.
Especially since we're going to go through some bigger clouds. Why
Ryanair
not?
120, report passing altitude.
Still 80 knots of wind.
Passing through 4,000,
Crazy.
Ryanair 120.
Ryanair 120 identified. Climb now. Flight level 230.
Climb 230, Ryanair 120.
Lima 3, Takeoff of energy complete.
Ryanair 667, correct?
Ryanair 38 Golf. You can send flight level 250. Ryanair 38 Golf. Descend flight level 250.
They cross each other out. Oh man.
Ryanair 6678, taxi Alpha, enter left, backtrack, runway 26, lineup report fully ready.
Ooh, it's getting dark here. Oof. All right.
Ryanair 2, November, taxi Link 6, left, Fox Outer, hold short, Link 5.
Right, I've got plus 8 degrees already. Going quite fast. But that's quite warm. Plus 8 degrees.
Ryanair 5776, ready for taxi.
Ryanair 5776, taxi
Oh yeah, no
Link
doubt.
5,
I mean,
Papa 1,
it's
hold
a
short 164.
huge improvement regarding how the flight feels with that kind of cloud
Ryanair
simulation.
5776, taxi by Link 5,
That's
Papa
really
1,
good.
and can you repeat that?
Hold short runway 1634.
Hold short runway 1634, Ryanair 5776.
Shamrock 723, descend altitude 3,000 feet. From Barnu, cleared ILS approach, runway 16, report established.
3,000 feet and from Barnu.
Right, we're getting close to 10 degrees.
Shamrock 723.
So I can switch it off soon.
Shannon Control, good evening. Shamrock.
Oh, there's MAN.
Flight level 360.
Shamrock 693, Shannon, good evening, identified. Cleared, Tipper 2 Delta arrival. Landing runway 24. Report when ready for descent.
Tipper 2 Delta arrival, landing runway 24. Call you back when ready for descent. Shamrock 693.
Tomjet 320, turn left, now heading 200 degrees. Descend altitude 2,500 feet.
2,500 feet, can you repeat the heading, please?
Left heading 200.
200.
Shamrock 385, descend altitude 5,000 feet. QNH is 1003.
Descent 5,000, QNH 1003, Shamrock 385. There we go. So set QNH.
Shamrock 385, speed 250 knots or greater.
250 knots or greater, Shamrock 385. So
Ryanair 2 November, you'll be giving way to a company 737 from left
set
to
QNH,
right.
QNH cross check,
Then
passing
follow him to Papa 1, hold
13,500
short,
feet.
runway 1634.
Now checked. Approach checklist. The cat's back. Cat 1 approach. What? Right,
Tomjet
so
320, make a
approach
left
checklist.
turn, left heading 180
Power
degrees.
ref, QNH 1003 set. Seatbelts on. Minimum, bar row 220 feet. Auto brake, low. Engine mode selector, normal.
Shamrock
Approach checklist completed.
723, surface wind checks 210 degrees 9 knots. Runway 16, you are clear to land.
Clear to land 16, Shamrock 723.
Last station, call in for clearance again.
So 11 degrees TAT. We can switch off the
Runway 1 Zulu Fox, clearance 5
engine
PTC,
anti-ice.
standby.
Let's put the wing lights on already. Yeah, so Sable the deer.
320, continue heading.
I still have issues
left
with the
heading
pushback.
170
I do not know what I'm doing wrong in GSX with the pushback. Today I thought I mastered it with the help of the chat.
Shamrock 385, descend altitude 4,000 feet.
Shamrock 385 descending 4,000. Right, 4,000. Still out blue.
Ryanair 6678, you fully ready?
Fully ready.
Ryanair
Beautiful.
6678, surface wind
Beautiful
check.
Ireland scenery.
180 degrees 8 knots, runway 26, clear for takeoff.
Countryside here.
Shamrock 5 Echo Delta, Shamrock 5 Echo Delta, push and start is approved, QNH 1004.
The cat is like, I am not happy with the situation here.
Ryanair 38 Golf, continue descent, flight level
actually,
1,
you know what? We still got so
60.
much wind. Let's go 260 at least. So it was 250 or more.
Shamrock 38 Whiskey, descend altitude 5,000
So
feet.
speed is
QNH
260.
is
We got the
1003.
ILS identified. India Sierra Whiskey 235 inbound course.
Shamrock 385, speed 230 knots.
Speed 230 knots, Shamrock 385. That's interesting.
38 Whiskey, same for you, speed 230 knots.
That's interesting that the inbound course is off by 2 degrees.
Shannon, good evening, Shamrock 171. Descending to
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go open descend, out blue. Let's slow down to
Shamrock
230
171,
knots.
identified, cleared, Ablin,
And use
3
a
Lima
bit of speed
arrival,
brakes
landing 28 left.
to expedite the
descend flight level
reduction.
200.
Captain Monty, it's I guess a bit of a mixed bag. It's just
Ryanair 577
exaggerated.
left backtrack,
Right, it's not really completely realistic. My cat wants to get outside. So that's why he's complaining.
Shamrock 385, descend altitude 3,000 feet, and from there I cleared for the Alice approach runway 24, report established.
Shamrock 385 descending 3,000 from Derek, cleared the ILS 24, I call you established. So there we go.
Ryanair 6678, report
3,000.
Ryanair 6678, identified, climb now, flight level 210.
So speed brakes out a bit.
Ryanair 2 November. Disregard, I'll call you back in 1 second.
Oh, gorgeous.
Brake, Tomjet 320, turn right heading 250 degrees. Cleared, ILS approach 28 left. Report established.
That cat is annoying.
Tomjet 320, turn right heading 250 degrees.
There you go.
Cleared,
10 more
approach
minutes, I
28 left.
promise.
Report established.
Then I'll let you out.
Yeah, I just feel like I can't actually use my FSD, so I can't actually like that.
So let's do
Tomjet 320, accept the visual approach, report the runway in sight.
Yeah, runway
right, speed managed. Clear for the approach.
Ryanair 120, you shortly leaving my airspace.
So we've still got 35 knots of headwind.
122 decimal 8, Ryanair 120, have a good one. Shamrock 693, ready 47.
Okay.
Ryanair 693,
Look, I'm sorry, I'll leave out in 10 minutes.
Flight level
honestly.
220.
Right, we're clear for the approach, so let's do that. Flaps 1. Get this check. Flaps 1. That's the blue and lock blue.
Send flight level 220.
Autopilot 1+2, cat through dual.
Shamrock 723 going around. Shamrock 723,
Also,
continue
I
runway
have to
heading,
say,
climb altitude 3,000
I'm a bit surprised about the drag model.
Runway heading 3,000 feet. Shamrock
I know it's now high approach idle, but still.
Shamrock 38 Whiskey, descend altitude 4,000 feet.
Descend 4 pounds.
There we go. Superstar.
Tomjet 320.
Flaps 2, speed check. Flaps 2. Was it 42? Sable
Tomjet 320, continuing the approach, you are number 1, report to the field in sight.
Airport
Alright, so we are on the ILS. We can see
Jet 320,
the
thanks.
ground speed
Surface
mini
winds are 210 degrees 10 knots. Runway 28
showing
left,
us
you are clear to land.
crazy high target speed right now because of that.
Ryanair 2 November, enter left, backtrack, runway 34.
That
then
seems a
hold
bit
short
weird
straight
in
left.
my eyes, but hey. 170 knots ground speed mini? Oh, careful with speed brakes. Yeah, that looks a bit off as well. That's weird.
Shamrock 5, Echo Delta, taxi, Bravo
Hey,
1,
solid wings,
Echo
bonjour,
1,
monsieur.
hold short of runways 34 and 28 left.
Fuel check. We've got 2.9 tons.
Shamrock 171, descend flight level 150.
And we need 2.5, so 400 kilograms extra. So in case of missed approach, it's either a shorter approach or diversion to Dublin. It's only got one runway.
Shamrock 650, thanks.
Call established. Yeah, there we go. Hang on. Missed approach 4,000.
Shamrock 2, correction, Ryanair 2088, we calling to push?
Missed approach 4,000 set.
Ryanair 2088, your push and start is approved. QNH 1005, face north.
Good. Rosgrove 3,000. That's correct, Gladslow.
No worries.
And Shamrock 385 established 24.
Shamrock 385, thanks. Surface wind checks 200 degrees 15 knots. Runway 24 cleared land.
Runway 24 cleared land, Shamrock 385. So the wind is going to go a little bit 40 degrees to the left and reduce the speed for that 20 knots.
24 report established.
So we've got to be ready for that.
3,000 and we're cleared on the ILS approach. Runway 24
and Shamrock 385, speed 180 knots until 60 me.
180 to 6, Shamrock 385. Right.
And Shamrock 38 Whiskey, same for you, speed 180 knots until 60 me.
180 to 6.
2,500 is checked.
Ryanair 38 Golf, continue descent flight level 80.
Now it's no issue because we have such a high the approach.
Ryanair 6678, fly present heading and report the heading.
That's a bit weird.
Fly present heading and it's 080.
He is busy, absolutely.
Shamrock 723, turn right, right heading 330 degrees. Right 330, Shamrock 723. Ryanair 5776, behind the arriving Boeing 737-800, runway 28 left, line up and wait behind.
So 186. Flaps 3, speed check flaps 3. We could have thought about a config 3 landing, to be perfectly honest.
Shamrock 693, fly present heading, report the heading.
Yeah, let's do that, actually. Actually, no, we can't. We haven't calculated it, so let's just continue with that. Flaps full, speed check, flaps full.
And Shamrock 693, roger, continue descent now, flight level 80.
Again, that ground speed mini is just way off. That is not correct. It's only 30 knots. It's not as if...
your present heading is 280, that's fine.
And continue directly for...
nah, that's wrong.
So fly present heading 280
We'll monitor
degrees,
that.
descend
The
flight level
approach
80.
should be, what about 136? So...
and continue present heading 280,
Shamrock 171, descend flight level 90.
That is weird. Landing checklist, ECMA we're landing no blue, landing check is complete, we're clear to land. Let's do some hand flying here.
Ryanair 1 Zulu Fox, push and start approved, QNH 1004, face west.
Right, auto thrust off, auto flight off.
Shamrock 38 Whiskey, speed 160 knots until 60 me.
160 until 6, Shamrock 38.
Let's try again.
Shamrock 723, fly heading 320 degrees. 320, Shamrock 723.
Alright, that's coming down now, which is fine. There we go. Look at that speed drop. GG. 15 knots, bam.
Shamrock 693, turn right by 10 degrees, report new heading.
Right 10 degrees, new heading 2.
And look at that visibility. Oh, getting high in the approach.
Tundra 320, welcome to Dublin, vacate right on Sierra. Hold short runway 1634.
Yeah, that seems way off. Here's the landing line. That simulation of the gusts is just way off.
Taxi right onto Sierra.
That does not feel natural.
1634. Ryanair 5776, surface wind check.
I don't like that
degrees,
at all.
knots, right. 28 left, you are clear for takeoff. Ryanair 2 November, behind the departing company, Boeing 737-800, runway 28 left, line of weight behind.
200. Minimum.
Continue.
100.
That way.
Shamrock 38 Whiskey, reduce final approach speed.
50. You can always go around 20. Restart. If it don't look right coming down, don't wait until
Ryanair 38 Golf, flight present.
Bruno! We got spoilers, reverse green. Come on, give me a full reverse diesel. Right.
Shamrock 171, descend flight level 70, route direct to Latmo.
Right. I'm assuming that's
Shamrock
Charlie.
385, welcome to Shannon, vacate left onto Alpha.
Left Alpha, Shamrock 385.
Okay, taxi left Whiskey 2, then left West Apron, standard choice.
Was that for us?
Shamrock 38 Whiskey, surface wind checks 20 degrees 15
Right, so
knots.
after landing. Yeah, again, the whole simulation regarding the wind gusts, you can see that speed bump just going crazy up and down. Nah, that's not realistic.
Ryanair
And I dislike it.
Do you want a taxi to Alpha, hold short of 16 there? Roger, taxi Alpha, hold short 16. Shamrock 723, approximately 23 track miles until touchdown.
After landing, checklist. Radar, predictive wind shear system off. After landing checklist completed.
Shamrock 693, speed 2.
Lilo, thank you so much for joining. Good night to you.
Reduce speed 250 knots, Shamrock 693.
Ryanair, correction, Royal 38 Golf.
MAN, maybe you saw the weather simulation. That was pretty bad weather. Wow, I did not expect it to be that bad.
Blue Max 38 Golf, apologies, speed 260 knots or greater.
260 knots or greater, Blue Max 38 Golf.
Now I think he called us regarding Whiskey 1 standard.
And remember one thing to say, you're shortly in airspace anyway, you can monitor Unicom 122 decimal 8.
Now I'm worried about GSX. If we start GSX...
Shamrock 2 Mike Whiskey, you're clearing to survive PDC standby.
Doesn't even start properly. That's normal Irish weather. No, it's not. Well...
Ryanair 5776, report passing.
I mean, I've been to Dublin not too long ago, and it was similar. I have to admit.
Ryanair 5776 identified, climb now for level 230.
Right, GSX1 starts.
Ryanair, correction, Blue Max 38 Golf, fly heading 260 degrees.
Let's park here.
260.
He's busy. I'm not going to molest him with taxi instructions.
Shamrock 693, turn right heading 315 degrees.
Right heading 315 degrees, Shamrock 693.
Ryanair 2 November, surface wind check.
What doesn't feel right?
14 knots, runway 28 left, you are clear for takeoff.
For me, what doesn't feel right is the up and down drafts are just way too strong. So in a jet, in a big jet like this, in these conditions, and we're talking about what, 15 knots of wind?
Runway 16, you are cleared for takeoff.
Not even that, 10 knots of wind on the ground. It should not move that way, right? So the whole behavior regarding
Whiskey, welcome to Shannon, taxi standard choice from Alpha.
Yeah, the up and down drafts. And the wind changes or the gusts.
Shamrock 7171, descend altitude
No, it just
3,000
it doesn't
feet,
feel
level
right.
high lap mode, QNH 1004.
Yeah, 10. Yeah, it's 10 knots on the ground.
Shamrock 723, turn right, heading 130 degrees.
Right 130, Shamrock 723.
And Shamrock 723 on the heading, cleared ILS approach, my 164 south.
On that heading, cleared ILS 164, port established, Shamrock 723.
Blue Max 38 Golf, route direct to Dirag, descend altitude 4,000 feet. QNH is 1003.
Direct Iraq, 4,000 feet, 100, brief for Blue Max 38 Golf.
Shamrock 171 from lap mode, cleared ILS approach 28 left, report established. Shamrock 5 Echo Delta, surface wind checks 200 degrees 14 knots. Runway 28 left, clear for takeoff.
Yeah, see what I mean? It doesn't even load the menu anymore.
Ryanair 2 November, identified, climb
It's
now,
just
flight
so
level
weird.
180, direct to Peleg.
Let me just restart Quattro really quickly, hold on.
Ryanair 1 Zulu Fox, taxi link 5, Papa 1, hold short, runway 1634.
Oh, there we go.
Ryanair 6678, cleared Sutex 3 Lima arrival, landing 28 left.
So
Report
parking, what are we? 32. Gate. 32. Okay.
And Ryanair 6678, you can resume on navigation now, direct to Sutex.
On that Sutex, Ryanair 668, we are ready.
Ryanair 6678, descend flight level 100.
The boarding requested.
Shamrock 693, speed
Oh, that works.
230 knots, descend altitude 4,000 feet.
At least that works.
1003.
Let me read the parking checklist though. There's a couple more items to do. So that.
Ryanair 2088, report passing level.
So doors all in park. Come on. Hurry up. There we go. So parking
Ryanair
checklist.
2088, identified.
Parking brake or
climb now,
chocks.
flight
Parking brake
level
is
270.
on. Engines off. Wing lights off. Fuel pumps off. Parking check is completed.
Ryanair, correction, Blue Max 3 Golf. descend
I'll show you
altitude
the scenery.
3,000 feet, and from Dirag, cleared ILS approach, runway 24, report
So
established.
that's daytime.
Passengers, the boarding started.
And I'll show you
Blue Max 3 Golf, speed not
daytime
below
here.
230 knots.
So
Speed not below 230.
what's nice is they actually
Ryanair
simulated
5776, you're shortly in my airspace.
part of the terminal,
Further,
which is
continue
nice.
Come 122 gas flight.
So that looks nice.
Shamrock 723, you established?
We are just established now, Shamrock 723.
It's not a huge airport.
Shamrock 723, thanks, surface wind check. 200 degrees 10 knots, runway 16 clear land.
Just land 16, Shamrock 723.
But maybe someone has been here as a passenger, who knows. Right, weather is, look at that
Shamrock
rain.
5 Alpha Delta, identified, climb now, flight level 230. Shamrock 693, route direct to Dirag.
Direct, Direct.
Ryanair 1 Zulu Fox, central left, backtrack.
So if you are unlucky, you can actually miss the approach lights.
Shamrock 2 Mike Whiskey, were you calling to push? Shamrock 2 Mike Whiskey, apologies for the delay, your push and start is approved. QNH 1004. Shamrock 171, you were established on 2 left. Shamrock 171, thanks. Surface wind check 200
Guys,
degrees.
what's going to happen now is I am going to watch, or let you watch some landings of our friends. I'm going to let the cat out. When I'm back, I'll show you a bit more of the scenery.
Ryanair 6678.
Oh, really? The Chris you
direct to Soren.
Thank you so much. The Chris you, thank you so much. I appreciate that message. Thank you for your support. No worries. Thank you so much, Chris you. That's really kind. I'm just gonna let the cat out, get myself a salad, and then we prepare for the
Shamrock
next
693, speed 210 knots.
flight.
3 speed 210 knots, Shamrock 693.
Royal, correction, VMAX 38 Golf. Speed
And again, we're going to be
180
on pilot edge. We're going to fly the PNG 737, so I've got a lot of stuff to do, including
Ryanair 2 November,
installing the yoke and the
redirect to INRAD and expect the ILS
the Boeing thrust levers and so on to make it realistic. All right, guys.
2 November report.
I'm going to be back in a couple of minutes. Enjoy the landings.
Shamrock 171, surface wind 200 degrees 14 knots. Runway 28 left, you are cleared to land. Ryanair 1 Zulu Fox behind the arriving Aer Lingus Airbus A320. Runway 28 left, line up and wait behind. Shamrock 693, descend altitude 3,000 feet. From Derek, cleared as approach runway 24 report established.
Descending 3,000 feet from Derek, cleared the ILS to 4, call back established, Shamrock 693.
And Shamrock 693, speed 170 knots until 60 minutes.
170 until 60 me, Shamrock 693. Ryanair 836, Shannon, good evening, readability 5. Standby, call you back. Break, Shamrock 723, welcome to Cork. Backtrack runway 34, vacate right at the intersection, then taxi Bravo. Ryanair 836, clearance via PDC, standby. Shamrock 2 Mike Whiskey, taxi link 2, Foxtrot 1 Echo 1, hold short, runway 28 left. Shamrock 723, did you get my last transmission? Ryanair 836, amendment to your clearance when you're ready. Ryanair 836, I've amended that for you now. All of the clear instructions remain the same. Break, Shamrock 171, taxi Sierra, hold short 1634. Shamrock 5 Echo Delta, you're leaving my airspace now, nothing further. Munchinicom 122, decimal 8, bye-bye.
So has IMEN landed yet? We're still deboarding. Are you kidding me?
Shamrock 6903, surface wind checks 200 degrees 15 knots. Runway 24, clear to land.
Clear to land.
Ah, there he is.
24, and we just established ILS Shamrock 693.
Ryanair 1 Zulu Fox, the surface wind checks 200 degrees 14 knots. Runway 28 left, clear for takeoff. Ryanair 66780, descend flight level 70, no speed restrictions.
I wonder if MAN, who's just landing now, has the same weather that I have now. He should have, right?
Number 650, your push and start is approved. QNH 1004.
It should be the same weather.
Shannon, Ryanair 2088 with request.
Ryanair 2088 pass message.
Requesting final level, flight level 310.
Ryanair 2008, correction, Ryanair 2088, that's approved. You can climb now, flight level 310.
Approved, climb flight level 310, Ryanair 31, correction 2088.
Shamrock 2 Mike Whiskey, runway 28 left, line up and wait. Ryanair 10 Foxtrot identified, climb now, flight level 230. KLM 621, Shannon, my frequency. Easy 016, you're my frequency.
Wow, that rain shower's looking mad.
Good night.
Thanks so much, Debkit. Thanks for joining today. Have a great night.
Thank you, break.
Yeah, I'm preparing for the flight, the 737 flight from
battery 3 Lima
from Albuquerque to Los Angeles, so new scenery. Really interested to see how that looks.
It's 28 left, battery 3 Lima arrival. Ryanair 2088, fly present heading, report the heading.
Present heading, and we're on a heading of 047.
Easy 0116, fly heading 340 degrees.
So, where is MAN? Where is he?
Shamrock 2 Mike Whiskey, surface wind checks 200 degrees 14 knots. Runway 28 left, clear for takeoff. Shamrock 171, you're cleared to cross runway 16, taxi Bravo 2, Bravo 1, standard choice. Ryanair 2 November, you ready for descent?
I'm ready for descent. Okay,
Ryanair 2 November, descend flight level 80. Ryanair 2088, turn left heading 040 degrees.
Left turn 040 degrees, Ryanair 2088.
Oh, there he is. I can see the lights. I can see the lights. Wow. I wonder if he has the same bad weather.
Ryanair 836, your push and start is approved. The QNH is 1005.
That looks really bad right now.
Airbus A320 parking to your right. Easy 0116, turn left heading 330 degrees.
There he comes. Ooh. Come on, butter it, butter it.
016, my apologies. Continue left turn heading 300 degrees.
There he is. Yeah. Right, GG. So he should stop here. There you go. Nice one. I don't. Yeah, I think he said he's flying the FENIX.
Left on the Foxtrot Echo 1.
So I would say so, yeah. There he comes. All right, guys. I will.
Easy 0116, confirm you are descending.
I will restart the stream with the 737 PMDG.
Shamrock 2 Mike Whiskey, report passing level.
So very much looking forward to that.
Shamrock 2 Mike Whiskey identified.
Although I was going to show you
210,
nighttime, wasn't I?
Right turn, direct bottom.
So let me show you nighttime scenery here. So that you have an impression of what it looks like at nighttime.
Shamrock 693, welcome to Shannon. Taxi Alpha standard.
Shannon, good evening, November. Papa descending 430, tipper to Delta into the Shannon.
So that looks nice, doesn't it?
November Sierra Papa, Shannon, good evening, identified, cleared, tipper
beautiful
to Delta
weather.
arrival, landing runway 24. You can stop your descent for now, flight level 300.
Clear tipper to Delta.
So then they have to improve on that Senshai, don't they?
At 300 November, Sierra Papa.
If it's not nice at... so Dublin doesn't look as nice. Yeah, then I wish they improve on that.
KLM 621 identified.
Right. Okay,
and you can
cool guys.
direct to Pickle.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support, and if you want to see the 737, stay tuned. I'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Say again, flight level.
Mighty moderators, thank you as always. Much appreciated. Take care. See you in a few minutes or on the next stream.